The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
It's National Wait Stuff Day.
It's National Wait Stuff Day.
Can I get 2 eggs scrambled on toast?
Sure thing, honey. Adam and Eve on a raft, wreck 'em.
I'd like a hot dog with ketchup and some Jell-O, please.
Paint a Bow Wow red and a side of nervous pudding.
Can I have a well-done burger with lettuce and tomato?
Burn one, drag it through the garden, pin a rose on it.
Can I use your bathroom?
Got a telephone pole heading to the swimming hole. Spray it with sunshine.
Welcome to the show.
Showtime.
Oh, man. Effing Tuesday, huh? I'll be. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Welcome to Wait Staff Day, which, of course, recognizes everyone involved in the creation of the White Lion song, Wait.
Oh, that's what it is.
From back in 1987. Everyone on staff for the creation of that song should be recognized today. That includes band members, Josh, Mike Tramp, Vito Bratta, James Lomenzo, Greg D'Angelo. I imagine that includes sound engineers and characters. Everyone,
well, certainly producers. Let's not forget. Or what about just some of the interns, people that went on to have successful careers after the success of the Pride album?
Everyone at Atlantic Records at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the whole staff involved in the song. Well, of course.
I don't know if they used, but maybe there's a drug dealer that was helpful in inspiration, providing some substances for a producer or somebody.
It was the 80s. They made a lot of those records on straight-up cocaine.
I've said it before. Vito Bratta is one of the most underrated guitar players of all time. Incredible guitar player who deserves a lot more than he got.
Innovative and brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, just his rhythms are so complicated, and plenty of guitar players have said the same thing. Love that guy.
Of course, what you mean by Wait Staff Day, you mean bar and restaurant waiters and waitresses. Absolutely. Good day to recognize those folks. Tough gig.
Very.
Mm-hmm. Oh, especially nowadays.
Dealing with entitled asshats day in, day out, right, Josh?
I think dealing with the public who really feel owed more than ever before. I was telling Nick off air, I spent a considerable amount of time at a retailer on Saturday, and it was, there was a bunch of people came in because I was there for so long, and I don't know how these people can put up with the amount of vitriol that they deal with. Just people really pissed off about kind of some dumb things.
People are so quick to be angry.
Oh yeah, they like a couple of people walked in pissed. I think they were expecting some pushback or something.
Yeah, almost like looking for a fight.
Because they've run through the scenario in their head on their way there.
Yeah.
Do you are you comfortable sharing with our listening audience just how long you were at this? You were. I don't want to give away too much to get anyone in mad at us, but you were at a store seeking a particular service.
Yes.
If that's the right way to say it. How long were you inside this establishment before you got what you wanted?
Well, it was only 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. No.
3 hours and 45 minutes.
But that was it. That's all it took for what I thought was going to be maybe a 30-minute appointment.
How much of it was waiting and how much, and I'm not trying to go back to what we started the show with, and that wasn't an attempt to go that route. How long were you sitting and waiting, and how long were you actually dealing with a representative of the company?
So, I mean, I think it's safe to say I was changing a cell phone plan, right? I had to I had a phone that no longer was working, so we had to sit there and we're going to change a plan. So we upgraded a phone, had to change something out, and for whatever reason, I'm glad I did. So they charged $50, right, to set you up in store. And I know how to do that kind of stuff, but I knew it was going to be kind of complicated. So I'm like, all right, here's your $50, just do it. And the guy's like, we'll get you out of here in about a half hour. And that was, 3 hours and 45 minutes of complication. So I'd imagine, if I did it by myself, it would have been a lot worse. But I've never, buying a car and changing a cell phone plan, it seems like those things take forever.
Yeah, they do.
But I wasn't expecting it. I ended up, so I'm looking out the window. I had a lot of time to look out the window, right? And I see this really crappy blue car pull out of Buffalo Wild Wings, and I thought, I think that's Dana.
It was.
And I text Dana, like, hey, did you just pull out a Buffalo Wild Wings barely in that car that barely moves? And it was him.
Yeah. And my response was, well, are you a cop? Are you following me? What's going on here, pal?
Yeah, so for that reason, Dana was keeping track of how long I was there.
I was, yes, because then you said, you reminded me, you go, I had that noon appointment. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, and the cell phone store was nearby. And then you messaged me about a half hour later, I'm still here. And then I started to get worried, and I was like, oh, man, he's been under there over an hour. And I texted you, and I said, do you need help? Do we need to come rescue you? and then at that point, I was emotionally invested. I was like, okay, I need to know how long this is going to take, because it's taking longer than it probably should for what seemed like a simple thing for a cell phone store.
I was hoping that we could just, take off and come back, but for whatever reason, they need us to approve things randomly, and they weren't comfortable with having certain passwords, so we had to enter those in a bunch.
You and your...
my wife and my youngest.
The three of you.
Yeah.
3 hours and 45 minutes.
And the guy couldn't have been cooler. The manager, too. They were awesome. But the manager especially dealing with people that were just enraged.
Yeah, I suppose, we did say wait staff day. I said, bar and restaurant staff, but any type of a character who has to serve the public in that fashion, cell phone store, where else do people, clothing store, whatever. Unbelievable the patience that these folks have to haul into that gig day in, day out because of the way people operate, how entitled and angry everyone is. So the entire 3 hours and 45 minutes, despite that being an obscene amount of time, you didn't lose your cool.
No, it wasn't.
You had respect for the indivial who was trying to help you.
The guy was great. I think he was more frustrated than we were. I know he wanted to move on to other people. Right? Yeah. Then I feel like I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. He's apologizing. I'm apologizing. Yeah, it was one of those things where I think he thought I wasn't expecting my entire day to be working with these jerk-offs, and I thought, hey, I wasn't expecting my entire day to be sitting here at a cell phone store.
Yeah, he got tired of looking at you and the wife.
Yeah. Over the weekend, I went up to Vermilion for my girlfriend's birthday. That drive took 3.5 hours.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
You were at the store longer than the car ride to Vermilion, dude.
Eastbound at sundown, Jesus said, new cell phone, the worst. 4 hours for us 2 years ago. I dread going back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's the cell phones or cars. It's just, you got to camp out.
The first thought that crossed my mind when Josh told me this story off air yesterday, my first thought was, man, by the time that was over, you must have been starving.
Oh, I was so friggin' hungry.
Oh, yeah.
I did walk across the street there, and I just grabbed a pop, right? It was only $4 for a pop, so I had that going for me as well.
Oh, you're
and then I tipped $3 on top of it. So I don't know. It's because they give you the thing, right?
Yeah.
They give you, here's the thing, and I hit the thing.
Oh, I always tip heavily. I don't give a rat's ass.
It's almost like Josh went to the Twins game and bought a pop.
I have a whole, how tips, you see articles all the time. Has tipping gotten out of control? That kind of thing. And I have a whole line item in a budget now for tips. Because of you're tipping a lot more places.
Your organization level is off the charts.
Yeah, that's impressive.
You have a what?
Well, like I have now for a budget. I joined this cult called You Need a Budget. I love it. It's really changed my life. I don't get anything for this. This is not an endorsement.
Yeah, you've told us about this before. I mean, it's fascinating.
It's helped me out a ton, and it's very. I should say for anybody who does this, who's joined this cult with me, they know it's very confusing. It's a totally different mindset, and it took me 3 times of failing before I finally got it.
So let me try to get this straight, because I'm not qualified for a conversation like this, but Like, say you can punch up this gimmick on your phone, and it'll show you how much money you have for tips.
Yeah.
Or how much you spent. So, like, your bills, you could see in, like, probably like a pie chart, right? And you can see how much you're spent in your bills and then tips, different
Not
columns.
to get, like, too much into the weeds on it, but basically, you realize the expenses you have, right, and some regular ones, and then you can kind of budget for them. You can just say, all right, I'm going to start setting aside this amount of money because I know I'm going to be spending this on whatever it is. You can go as crazy as you want. I do more broad categories now, but I have one for tips.
That's the part that grabs me. I understand having something in front of you that says, okay, I have X amount of money for rent this year and a month, whatever. I have, the necessities, rent, food, bills, right? I'm really drawn to the idea that you have a section that will even budget out what you have left over to tip people.
Well, because you make choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
You say, okay, maybe I won't spend as much on this because I know I'm going to tip. And
wow.
People are texting in like part-time electrician Jesus. If I'm not sitting, I'm not tipping, right? I understand that, but I usually, if they have the thing...
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of get
I'll
that.
hit it.
Yeah,
if I'm not sitting, I'm not tipping?
That's how it kind of used to be, right? Maybe you tip somebody comes over and maybe mows your lawn or whatever, you might tip that person, but then at the same time...
But it's like...
Usually when you go to a sandwich shop...
Fast food restaurants and stuff all the time now, it's tip this person. And when I worked at McDonald's, there was never a tip function.
Oh, there isn't? I haven't been to McDonald's in a while.
Well, back when I worked over 10 years ago at McDonald's, I mean, there was never, like, tipping. And same with Subway. You would never see, tip the sandwich artist. But now it's everywhere.
Jar. We had a jar, Waffle.
There were always, hell Waffle.
With like 2 quarters in it,
I never saw one where we were at Subway.
Well, yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing even 35 years ago when the first Subway opened in my neighborhood. Hell yeah, there was a tip jar. But at any rate, that's good for you that you have that level of organization. I'm always very interested in hearing about how organized you can be with your money because I am so the opposite. Absolutely I have no idea what's going on. The truth is, if I hadn't married my friggin' wife, I would have no idea how I was set up or if I was set up at all for retirement, if that even happens. I will likely die on air. But where I'm going with this is, she is like you, Josh, absolutely knows where everything's at and how much is set aside. I just was not wired for that in any way, shape, or form. When we hooked up, me and my friggin' wife.
Oh, I thought you meant you and me. I got kind of excited.
when we first got together, and, of course, you have to have those conversations, So she asked me, how are you set up for this and that, 401k? And here I am, a 50-year-old man at the time. I had to say, I have no idea. No idea. So good for you.
Well, I have to just simply because my nature would be to be incredibly irresponsible. So that's why
I've never known you to be greatly irresponsible.
Well, I think my nature is to be like I need to set reminders. I need to have routines. I need to do stuff like this. Otherwise, I think just on my own, I would go kind of nuts. I have to be that way.
You would spend too much money, you're saying.
Yeah, because I'm very all or nothing, very black or white. My wife will sometimes, here's an example, would be like order a pizza, right? And I'll be like, boy, I don't know. I love pizza, but I'm not so sure I could eat a whole pizza right now. And my wife would be like, well, you don't have to eat the whole thing. I mean, that's how my mind doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. I could leave some pizza behind.
Have some leftovers for tomorrow.
Oh man, well, 3 hours, 45 minutes. You're a tough dude and a patient dude. Because like we said, most folks these days would have come uncorked. Well, it's a damn shame.
Yeah, there was a couple. I mean, you certainly can understand some frustrations, right? But there was one guy in particular that was just just the weirdest thing. That was his principle. I will not do this. I'm not going to do this. It really wasn't a big deal. But yeah, that was his thing. And he was, going on and on about what he does for the world and what a great guy he is.
Oh, is he special?
He sure was.
He's special. He deserves special attention.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much just in case the guy listens. Maybe, I'm guessing he just had a bad day, right? Something went wrong and he took it out on everybody else. But
yeah,
that
so many of us are special now.
Yeah, that was definitely my impression.
We deserve special consideration.
And I built up this impression over 3 hours and 45 minutes. So I had some good data.
Yeah.
You had time to think about it.
That's crazy.
Somebody has sent us a tip.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. Buy Honda stock, he says. That's the tip.
All right.
You see that a lot now in like YouTube videos or content providers, stuff like that. There'll be websites like Patreon, or maybe that's a little different than a tip, or
what are subscriptions too? Those are getting crazy.
What are we talking about?
Like you can tip. It's not just like tipping a wait staff, like traditionally, or more and more places are offering, hey, click this for a tip.
Yeah.
Like you watch YouTube videos, certain people, they'll say, hey, here's a tip jar. You can donate a couple of bucks to somebody who you like the.
Oh.
You like the video on how to change a spark plug in a lawnmower or something like that.
It's gotten huge with video games, too. Live streaming video games, people will ask for tips, or people will just send in tips, and then they'll be like, hey, here, now you can go get this new cosmetic for your character.
Well, I've always said, if I ain't sitting, I ain't tipping. So.
That's what you've always said.
I've never heard that before. Local 34 Jesus, he sent us a tip. Buy physical silver. That's his tip. Everybody buy some silver.
All right.
Jesus.
Add that to the to-do list today.
I'm having flashbacks to an old high school buddy of mine. That's one of his favorite things in the whole world. He loves to talk about silver. I don't understand a word of it. He loves to talk about how today's the day when this. I would go on and do a further imitation of what he talks about specifically concerning silver, but I don't understand a single word of it. Not a word. And he's always convinced that today's the day it pays off. Today's the day.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Nick, if you are ever eviscerated by a werewolf, he's going to have the last laugh. Where's your silver down? Hey, I think, Nick, you and I have the same question to Dana. Dana?
Yes.
What the hell?
What
the hell, Dana?
Let me ask. Can I ask?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Dana.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. What the hell?
We saw a video this morning, and we need you to explain what the hell. A listener sent us, or what did they do? How do they do this?
They sent us a link to Dana's, now X page.
Okay, and the link was to some video from 4 or 5 years ago.
2019.
Where you took off your shirt and you walked into traffic?
Yeah.
So our question is, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Was that, I'm going to take a stab. This was for radio attention?
No, this was not at all radio related. Tiger Woods was leading the Masters on Thursday on the opening round, and I love Tiger Woods. And I said, if Tiger Woods actually pulls this off, I will take my shirt off and run into the intersection of Lake and Lagoon. And Tiger Woods miraculously won the 2019 Masters, one of the greatest days of my life. And I made good on my insane promise because I didn't think he actually realistically had a chance. And he did, and I was so excited I went and did it.
Well, so let me ask you something now. Well, maybe this isn't a question for you, but anybody who's familiar with the rules and regulations out there. What's the statute of limitations? Because I'd like you to go to jail for such a thing. I mean, you ran out. I've got audio, and I'll play it. It's not much, but there's a really cool horn in it. So just if you're driving right now, just know. So the clip you're about to hear has horns in it. The one at the end there.
Yeah, the General Lee horn.
No. Was that Mexican hat dance?
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
How do you not know the General Lee horn?
You know, that's a good way to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, you shot and killed, run over. I mean, you're really trusting that people are paying attention on the road.
And so what, you had a buddy videotape this and you put it up on Twitter?
My ex-wife videotaped it.
Oh, you're like dancing a little bit, man.
And I have to go back to...
Were you drunk? I mean, you looked affected by something.
I was overcome with emotion because I was so excited for Tiger.
I got to go back to this. When Tiger Woods won the 2019 Masters, you described that as one of the greatest days of your life?
Yeah. It was.
I've never heard you exclaim this great love for Tiger Woods before.
I didn't even know you like golf.
Oh, yeah. I love golf, and I love Tiger Woods. He's one of my favorite athletes of all time. We don't talk about golf on the show, and when we do, it kind of gets pooed upon, and
hell yes, and it always will be,
and especially Tiger Woods as well. So it just doesn't really come up in conversation that often.
Well, good.
The bottom line is, we'd like you arrested for such an offense.
I thought for sure this was some kind of wacky radio gimmick, because it had a wacky radio gimmick vibe.
Oh,
to
absolutely, it did. Yeah, for sure. But no, I put that out there, and I said I would be so happy if this happened. That I didn't think it was possible, and he did, and I had to make good for it.
Golf, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Golf.
Tiger Woods. If
Dana, it's okay to express these things. We're going to dump all over it.
Oh, I know. Yes.
But it's okay to express things like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes you feel any better, Dana, right now I'm wearing a T-shirt that says, "I'd like to be the meat in a Property Brothers sandwich." So you can go ahead and express yourself and just know you're probably going to get crap for it.
I mean, Wapple is look at Wapple, little stringy-ass little Muppet. He's not afraid to express his likes and dislikes, even though he knows, sometimes there could be conflicting opinions. For example, Wapple said out loud, I really liked Iron Claw.
Yeah. Great movie.
Knowing that I was going to
my wife
go
said
the other way.
Or no, it was during the Wolves game. They ran an ad for it. And
HBO Max.
Yes. My wife said she wanted to watch it, but now she's not so sure because how much you hate it. Well, and I told her, I said, well, Wapple and Dana loved it.
I think she would like it because it's kind of chick flicky. It can kind of go that way more than just wrestling.
Josh,
is it really?
The two of you just sit down and read the Wikipedia page of the Von Erich family.
Yeah, I'm going to skip the movie.
Use that to learn about the Von Erichs, not that garbage movie with that dude, whatever his name is. It was Wapple. It was one of the worst friggin' movies ever created. Okay, you have to stop.
Tearjerker.
Just because you recognize. See, I know you, Wapple. All it takes for you is for Wapple to sit in the theater and go, "Oh, no way! I've heard of that guy," and then it's a great movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they know where their bread's buttered with me.
I've heard it's good, except for Ric Flair.
Ric Flair's the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, people have said that.
I will agree with that.
That it makes no sense, the casting for Ric Flair and how bad that character was.
You heard, number one, you heard wrong. It is not good. And yes, the worst part of it is the dude who portrayed Rick. But anyway, we've done this before.
All right, back to social media from Up at the Crack of Dawn, Jesus. Ashley, you fell down some stairs. You posted this on social media?
Oh, yeah. Gosh, that sucked. I was carrying my three-legged dog down the stairs because sometimes stairs can be hard for her. Well, I guess they can
Understandable,
also be,
sure.
I guess they can also be very hard for me because I was like in the middle of the stairs and they're wooden stairs, so just completely slipped and fell onto the stairs first and then slid down the stairs.
Ouch.
Saved the dog, and that's probably why I'm in so much pain. Is because
you
I didn't
are in so much pain?
Yeah, dude.
What's wrong with you?
It's just the way I landed on like the side, like my right side of my butt.
Sure.
It feels worse than when I fell like directly on my tailbone on some concrete.
The right butt side.
Oh, it kills. Like it hurts to walk, and it's like a weird position where like I can't sit correctly. Really, like I can't sit the way I want to sit.
Your ass hurts.
Yeah, man, and my elbow.
You should ask Wapple for one of his famous butt massages.
Yeah.
He's a glute guy.
He is good at them.
Yeah, he can work out a knot. He can do whatever you need back there.
And you're having problems with your elbow?
Yeah, I smacked my elbow.
Well, you should have just taken the day off.
Yeah, I just laid there for a little bit and like kind of cried a little.
Oh no!
It was that bad. Like the dogs were freaking out. They were like, "Oh my gosh, what do we do?"
I kind of loved that when I lived at home because one of my sisters could not figure out stairs, and she would always fall down the stairs. Like I remember hearing her.
Drinking problem?
No, this was before drinking too. I don't understand it, but all of a sudden I'd be playing video games and then just hear.
And these are older sisters.
Yeah, and I would just bust out laughing. God, it was so much fun.
At what age are we talking here?
Well, my dad just had to get rid of the wooden stairs and put carpet because she just fell down the stairs again.
As an adult?
As an adult, yeah. But
has she been tested for vertigo or something? I mean,
it's just stairs she can't figure out. But God, that was always fun.
It's always fun when somebody falls down the stairs. It is. Absolutely. I'll agree with that until the cows come home.
Yeah, I called my boyfriend. He probably thought I was dying because I immediately need comfort, and I need him to know that I'm in pain. So I call him, and it's just, Jeremy. It's like, oh my gosh, what happened? It's like, I fell down the stairs. I don't know. I'm just laying here. I might have broke my leg. He's like, you're fine. Get up.
I might have broke my leg. I feel like it's one of the things you would know if you had.
Yeah, he knew I was just being dramatic.
It works every time when somebody falls down the stairs. It's a lot of laughs. And sometimes it can even be laughs when you yourself fall down the stairs. There's just never fail comedy elements to such a thing. One of the most dramatic stair falls I've ever seen in my life was back when we were young kids. High school kids, hanging out at my folks' place. We always had little beer parties going on, and one night a bunch of us were sitting in my dad's basement drinking beer, and here comes one of my hotshot buddies, and about halfway down the stairs, he loses it, and he tumbles down to the bottom. And Josh knows all about this, growing up in a garbage house, just like I did. We had the dehumidifier at the bottom of the stairs because the basement was a damp, disgusting pile. And so when dude reaches the bottom of the stairs, he smashes into the dehumidifier, which of course is full of water. We always waited until it was at the very tippy top.
It's crazy how much water can come out of those things.
Right. Oh God, it was. I was quite fascinated by it.
It's kind of cool, actually.
I agree. How quickly, my God, this basement is that humid. How quickly we could accumulate. So, dude comes to the bottom of the stairs, fell about halfway, rolls to the bottom, smashes into the dehumidifier, spills all the water on the floor, and also almost knocks out the plug-in, right? And the plug-in is half in the outlet, half out the outlet, and it's throwing sparks, and he's lying in a pool of water.
Oh, my God.
And what I remember is that he was frozen in fear, and so were the rest of us sitting down on the couch. And I remember saying to the guy, it got real quiet when those sparks started being thrown, and he's lying in a pool of water. And I just said, dude, I don't know if you should move or not.
That's so scary.
In the end, he did. He threw himself up and ran away, and everything was fine. But it was very dramatic, but hilarious.
Oh, yeah, and then always going up to Duluth at house parties, those stairs were treacherous, and then you would have a kegger. Just watch people go down the stairs constantly.
Oh,
that
those
was always
steep
fun.
stairs and crappy college houses.
That was also fun.
Somebody would lose it. Yeah, absolutely.
This text said, I was wasted and on the phone with Domino's. I fell down some stairs, got up, then asked the pizza guy if he was okay. Hey, are you all right? Yeah, we took a pretty big tumble right there.
We're in this together, pal, me and you.
I'm good. How are you?
I know I took a beating, but how are you?
Band of brothers right there.
Look, it's a beautiful thing here, broadcasting on a Tuesday morning for our wonderful listening audience. We got plenty to do today. We got Janel Klein popping by, Dick Bremer, of course, every Tuesday at 7:30. We talk to Dick Bremer about the Twins. So we got some things. We'll take a break. We'll come back here before you know it on the damn Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud. They lose control. They do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this summer. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst times.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The stupid news, huh? That's what you want. All right. Some of you have heard stories like this before, but for those who are unaware, I'm going to let you in on something here. There are dirty pricks out there who will fold your car when you're not looking. They'll have sex with your car. They will. As soon as look at you, they'll have sex with your car. Here's a fella who got caught having unprotected sex with a gal's pink Tesla automobile. And the word is the guy was pumping on that car, Cubby, for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
This dude has got the goods to hold off until he's sure that your car is sesmified.
Yeah, either that or he just, maybe a Tesla is not his first choice and he couldn't get turned on enough. Maybe he's more of not a domestic guy. Maybe he's more into foreign cars or something. I don't know.
3 hours. Ba-boom, ba-boom.
That's a long time.
Yeah, he's banging your car smooth out.
Give it a rest. Jeez.
Security cameras saw this dude. This was over at a Hyundai dealership in a town called Isan, South Korea's. And after the guy had a massive orgasm, he ran out of there, just like a lot of us do after sex with humans. A lot of us, we get out of there as quick as possible. Some of us do. According to folks over at the Hyundai shop, the dude was, and this is straight out of the story, no editing here, dude was kissing, touching, and fingering the car. And apparently this wasn't a car for sale on the lot. This was a customer's car. The owner of the car was a woman's. Her husband commented on this nightmare to the local news folks. He said, "This guy kissed my wife's car. He fingered it for 3 hours, and then he ran off when my wife walked up on him." That's a direct quote from her husband. I don't know about you, but that's my favorite quote of the day so far. He was just incredulous, I think is the word, incredulous.
I park on the street, and the other day, last week, I came out to my car, and I realized I forgot to lock it, and somebody had gone through it. And now I'm worried. Do you think they also had sex with it while they were in there?
No, not that car.
Yeah.
Your car's fugly.
Yeah, it is kind of a dirty car.
The worst I've ever had is when I had my car at the dealership to get some work done. They left it there overnight, and I had a little bit of a dent in the driver's side door. So unlike this Korean guy, I got off easy. That was much better than it could have been.
A 3-hour fingering?
Yeah. I don't want, because then my car and I, we'd always look at each other like, I'm so sorry that happened. And then my car would be like, why'd you abandon me there?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave me in an effable parking lot?
You left me.
Dana, is it kind of, I can't think of the best word, but so no one took anything in your car?
No.
Is that kind of worse that no one took anything of value?
Well,
like
I don't
didn't have anything in there that they really wanted.
Well, if I had $5 sitting in the glove compartment, that'd probably be double the value of the car itself. So I don't keep anything valuable inside of that thing.
It's like there's a Fast Five or something in there, and they don't even take it.
That would be insulting.
Yeah, I've had that happen many times. Car broken into, unfortunately. Probably close to a dozen since I was old enough to drive, growing up in Minneapolis. And I've had it actually happen in Eagan a couple times as well.
Well, it happened one time where I walked out and the guy was in the car. And I don't know how I came up with this idea on the spot, but I hit the panic button. So the horn started beeping, and the guy jumped out of the car, got on his bike, and sped away as fast as possible.
He was masturbating?
It could have been, there looked like residue, yes.
Oh, gross. Oh, yeah. That was Dirty Mike and the boys.
Now, remember, this was a pink Tesla that got violated at the Hyundai dealership. The husband, again, he's doing all the talking, even though it was his wife's car. The husband went on to say, maybe it would be best to remove the pink wrapping off of this motor vehicle. I wonder if it was triggering to mechanophiliacs like sexy lingerie or something. So the husband is tuned into the mechanophiliac lifestyle.
I mean, that's a decent theory. You know, not that how you're dressed would deserve that type of behavior, but I see what that gentleman's saying.
I never would have come up with that. I mean, Christ, this guy's too. Maybe he is a mechanophiliac.
I mean, it kind of does something for me looking at the wrap a little bit, so I can understand a tad why it might. But I have a little more self-control. And by the way, what do you finger on a Tesla?
Yeah,
I was trying to figure that out. Like, if you were going to finger a Tesla, where do you go?
Christ, you know, I saw a picture of the fingering, and now I don't remember where the fingering happened on the motor vehicle. But goddamn it.
Is it the one where he's like kissing it? His hands are underneath.
It's like on the chassis.
But so I don't know what he's actually fingering.
I think he just had his fingers up under the front fender.
Yeah, it doesn't. I wouldn't call that a fingering.
Okay, you're not going to label that
there's no real penetration.
In case you haven't heard of mechanophiliacs, it involves sexual attraction to machines, cars, motorcycles, helicopters, aeroplanes. Some parts of the world treat it as a crime, and perpetrators are placed on sex offenders' register lists, or whatever the hell you call that setup. No one is sure in this situation how the dude was able to F a car for 3 hours without anybody noticing or saying anything to him. But that doesn't matter anymore. The damage is done. The couple who owns this pink Tesla, they say that they reported the carvert to the police, but they found out in their neighborhood there is no specific charge that could apply to this situation. Well, damn, make one up.
You'd think there'd be like indecent exposure or something that they could toss in there.
It is a pretty Tesla, though.
A few weeks ago, a different guy, I believe in the same general area of South Korea, I think that's where we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the same general area, a different guy was spotted smashing his gear all up and down the hood of an Audi. And then he switched positions and hammered himself on the front fender. Gaga, gaga, gaga. It ain't right, Josh.
No. I watched that video, too. This guy, I mean, he was a little more discreet about it. I mean, it's out in the open, but he's looking around, not realizing there's a camera directly above him.
I've never wanted to bang a car, ever.
Yeah, I haven't either. I was even trying to think of a car that maybe I'd be somewhat interested in.
A bangable car?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is cute. Maybe it isn't. But, 30 years ago, I was seeing a woman who lived sort of in this neighborhood, U of M area, and I spent the night quite frequently. And I would park my motor vehicle right on University Avenue. And every morning, of course, I left for work, same time every morning. And at that time, when I was walking out the little apartment complex, heading towards my vehicle, parked right on University Avenue, there was always this dude who would ride by on his bicycle. He had somewheres to be every day at that same time, and so did I. And so it was kind of fun where I'd come out the apartment, and it was just perfect timing every morning. He'd be whizzing by on his bicycle, and he'd go, "Good morning." And I'd say, "Hey." This went on for weeks. And then one morning, I came out. I effed up. I didn't pay attention to the snow emergency gimmick that they got going, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just so perfect. I came out the door, took, 2-3 steps, looked up. My car wasn't there. And at that same time, here comes a guy with the bicycle. And what's he say this time? "Where's your car?"
Too bad you didn't have pegs on that bike or something. Could have given you a lift.
And I said, "I don't know where my car is." Yeah, we were pretty tight at that point. He probably would have given me $1 to work.
Pegs. I used to have pegs.
We never did the pegs bit. It was always
we did that. Yeah. We were big into that.
We gave each other $1.
But you never, like pegs, you didn't do like tricks or anything?
No.
That's kind of what we used them for.
No, that was not cool in my neighborhood. All right, speaking of those Tesla automobiles, which is still weird to me. To me, Tesla will always be the name of one of America's greatest rock and roll bands, and now it's a motor vehicle, too.
I just saw them, by the way, perform live not too long ago on YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah.
On YouTube. I was going to say, where?
Josh went to a concert and didn't tell us about it?
Oh, I've gone to a concert very recently. Mr. Big. They dominated.
That was
It sold
awesome.
out, 100,000 people, or less. I can't remember.
Watch Frank Hannon play the song Modern Day Cowboy on guitar live just once, and you'll forget all about that Tesla has a car.
That's what they played.
That is... Anyway, I imagine most of us will never have to deal with this personally, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. It says here the folks at the Hertz rent-a-car joint are charging Tesla renters for not refilling the gas tank.
Can't quite figure that one out.
And this totally threw me. When I first read the story, I said to myself, well, okay, I rented a car last year, and that's one of the requirements when you bring the vehicle back is to bring it back with a full tank of gas. I wasn't aware that Tesla vehicles, every damn last one of them is electric?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I did not know that. So Hertz has been accused of charging one customer nearly $300 for failing to return the electric vehicle with a full tank of gas. And that sounds very shady. A customer who rented a Tesla Model 3 was recently billed, $277. The customer was initially told the charge wasn't refundable, and the customer must have been thinking, why am I being charged money for not putting gas in an electric car? Hertz wound up returning the money after a story appeared online, Summers. A few other people have popped up as well, claiming the same shady charge fell into their laps, a gas charge on an electric vehicle. Hertz is blaming the deal on computer issues. A system error, they called it, Cubby.
Yeah, I've heard of those. Yeah, that sounds like an error. I mean, I think that'd be a pretty easy one to go, oh, yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Right. They're offering folks who got screwed by this deal, they're offering them credit toward a future rental.
By the way, I wonder how many people are going to try and pass off that obviously fake video where they have some bodacious blonde that just can't figure out where's the gas tank on this Tesla. Have you seen that like dozens of times?
Yeah.
They keep trying to pull this off as if that really happened in real life. That did not happen.
I don't know the video.
You've seen it. I've showed it before where the lady's just walking around like, I don't know what's going on. And then she's asking gentlemen, hey, can you show me where the gas tank is?
Oh.
There's so many.
She's not aware of the fact that it's an electric vehicle.
That's the bit.
Yeah,
That's
so
what they...
moronic.
Okay, well then is this video real? Because I did see one video, I don't know when, where a gal cracks the hood on her motor vehicle. She has a bottle of motor oil in her hand, and she just pours it all over the engine like you might pour dressing on a salad.
Oh, that video stresses me out.
You've seen that too?
Yes.
Is that real?
I'm going to guess it's not, but maybe.
I hope not.
I mean, there are some dumb people out there.
I know, but like, can you really be that dumb? Come on.
I would hope not.
Let's not make girls look that dumb too, please, lady. Like,
I mean, you never know what's real and what's not with these friggin' videos these days, and everyone's looking for clicks and likes and all that. But, I mean, remember this story. I've told you this one before. I once attempted to pop the hatch on my Chevy Blazer, and instead I just broke the windshield wiper off of the window.
I can understand that.
I had never popped the hatch before, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I legitimately convinced myself, well, it's this thing that's sticking off the back of and I snapped the windshield wiper off the back window and stood there with it in my hand. It might as well have been my dink in my hand as I stood there wondering what I had just done. But that was the first new vehicle I had ever driven. You know, the things like popping hatches and power this and that were so foreign to me. I didn't know what I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. That could happen to anybody, but pouring motor oil over an engine like salad dressing, I don't know that that's ever happened.
Yeah, that takes some
maybe
doing.
a mechanic could let us know. I'm sure there's plenty of things they've seen that are dumb. I mean, I told you I was visiting a friend who works at a Ford dealership, and they had a new Mustang, and he's like, "Hey, take it around the parking lot. We can't let you go on the street, but take it around the parking lot." It was just souped up once. I'm like, "Sweet." So I drove it around the parking lot, very slow, obviously, and then I came up to a dead end back by where all the mechanics are, and talked to a couple that I knew, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to back out, and I couldn't figure out how to get it in reverse.
No.
It was a manual, and I'd never seen that little ring on the stick. I'd never seen that before, and I was so embarrassed. I'm with my wife. I'm like, well, I can't go ask somebody. I have to pretend I'm admiring the car. So I got out, and I'm looking. It was a convertible. I'm looking inside the car, secretly looking for how the hell do I put this in reverse, pretending I'm admiring all the features of this Mustang.
That's awesome.
And finally, I had to call my buddy. I'm like, dude, you got to help me out. Don't make me ask all the mechanics how to get it in reverse.
Dude, same thing happened to me early 2000s. I believe the vehicle was a Pontiac Sunfire. My girlfriend at the time just got a brand new car. It was a manual. She did not know how to drive a manual, so I put her in the passenger seat. We drove around my neighborhood, and I'm showing her how to drive a manual. We end up, similar to your story, Josh, where time to turn around. Well, in my case, I pulled into someone's driveway, and then I could not get it into reverse because I had no experience. I did not know that cars were, what were you describing, some kind of ring?
There was a ring you pull up. So up until that point, all I ever had were manuals. That's what I grew up on. That's all I had ever purchased, anything. But it's always, you push it down or there's something different, but I'd never had a ring that you pulled up to get it in reverse.
Okay. In my case, it was you had to push the gear shift down.
Yeah, that's very common.
It wasn't to me, not in the early.
That's most of them, I think.
Yeah.
That I never had that issue before. So I'm in a private citizen's driveway, and I cannot. And, of course, the side humor is that I'm supposedly showing this person how to drive a manual, and I had done wonderfully up until that point, and I couldn't. I just had to say to her, I don't know how to put this effing thing in reverse. And then just by luck, I think I put enough force on the gear shift, pushing down to, I'd never seen that before. So again, it's all, I guess, experience. Crazy. That was very embarrassing because the people in the house were looking out the window. Who is this? Who is this hot young couple in a Sunfire in our driveway?
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing.
It sucked.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got you gearheads' attention now. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it says here now then, according to some kind of new fancy schmancy research, if you like loud cars, chances are you're a psychopath. A psychology professor came up with this. She goes by the name of Julie Shermer. She's Canadian. If you want to find out more, go ahead and look this gal up. Julie Shermer, the Canadian psychology professor. The story here in front of me lacks a lot of interesting information. I'll share this quote with you from the gal. On the subject of driving a loud-ass car around town and the link to psychotic behavior, she says, it seems to be this callous disregard for other people's feelings and their reactions. That's the psychopathy? Is that how you say it, Josh?
Yeah, it sounds right to me.
That's the psychopathy coming out. And it's also, they probably get a kick out of enjoying watching people get startled or aggravated. She admits that not all loud car lovers share traits with dangerous maniacs. She said people who like loud mufflers have a lot in common with people who like to commit arson.
Oh.
Now, this seems a little silly to me, but I do have to say, the biggest race fan that I've ever known is an unglued lunatic. Now, I'm not saying that he's homicidal, but he's certainly not mentally well. Certainly not.
I think, there's plenty of people that love that kind of thing and are very considerate of others. I mean, I think it was Vulcan Motorcycle Jesus who he had gotten a relatively new motorcycle, and I think this was who was telling me that it was very, very loud, and he lived in a townhome complex, so he got up early, and he would wheel his motorcycle down the road just not to disturb folks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going along with everything that Canadian psychologist says, but...
They're psycho? Come on. That's not true.
I don't know if I go psycho.
But again, I'm telling you, the biggest fan I know of NASCAR and NHRA, I've been to... I don't know how many years in a row I went with him to Brainerd for the NHRA drag races, and it's his life's blood. I can only use him as an example. He is not well.
That'd be one of the things I wouldn't like about driving an electric vehicle, I think, is, the engine noise. It's not there, right?
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah, I know, like, they're talking about maybe when they come out with the electric Challenger and Charger, they might pipe in some engine noise, and maybe it's satisfying.
That'd be kind of silly.
I don't know. And I don't know if that's really going to happen or what, but I would definitely miss that.
Yeah, I've never cared, I guess. I always hate when, like, people rev their engines. I'm like, okay, cool, wow.
I think it's weird when the new cars shut off now, at the stoplights. That always kind of freaks me out.
Oh, yeah, because my car's so old it doesn't do... Well, I mean, it might stop, but not by design.
Yeah, Wapple, mine does that, and the first time it did it, I thought, well, I bought a lemon.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're not alone. So back to my buddy at the Ford dealership, when that first started coming out, especially with the Lincolns, right? It's usually an older crowd. Mm-hmm. They would come in and think, you sold me a piece of garbage. Every stoplight, every stop sign, it just dies if I sit there too long.
Yeah.
It is weird. I agree with you, Wap. Or when it starts back up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I remember the first time I was next to somebody that had one of those, it scared the hell out of me.
I hate when it does it when you're in a drive-thru.
Why?
Because it makes me, like, I'm afraid that the person that's, like, in the drive-thru is going to think that, like, I turned my car off or something weird. I don't know. It makes me nervous.
That's a really strange scenario you just...
Comes up often.
Speaking of strange scenarios, electrical contractor Jesus said if you're driving an electric vehicle, there's a side effect. You'll lose weight because you're not eating as much gas station food. I wonder if there's anything to that.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's tough not to go get gas station food when you're at the gas station.
It's impossible.
I always get a donut or a payday bar or a chuck wagon. Okay, we had some fun yesterday talking about nipples, didn't we, Josh?
We did. We went a long way with nipples.
We dove into the Paige Spironiranak nipple-versy. In case you haven't heard, America is torn over whether or not a famous internet lady called Paige Spironiranak, America is arguing over whether or not the woman has nipples on the end of her breast tissue, like most of us. Look it up if you don't believe it. The Nipple King has arrived. A guy went ahead and had surgery to add 4 extra nipples to his chest.
So he's up to 6?
To his upper body. Pardon me?
So he's up to 6 now?
Yep, it's good math. Good math on your part.
Yes. His nipple count is...
You can nurse a litter.
Added 4 extra nipples to his chest and down onto his abdomen. And like Josh said, I mean, when the guy lies on his back with his shirt off, he's going to look like a Labrador retriever. Says here, a body modification expert dumped 4 silicone nipple implants onto the body of a guy named Harry Hoofkloppen.
That is such an awesome name.
Who the hell are you? Who am I? I'm Harry Hoofkloppen.
Just because of his name, I don't believe the story now.
What, you haven't heard of me? You must have heard of the other Hoofkloppens. Harry asked for this procedure. 4 silicone nipple implants cut into his body. I think is how you do it. I have it here in front of me. Yeah, you have to like kind of subdermal silicone implants. So they go under Harry Hoofkloppen's skin.
Have you ever seen someone with a subdermal?
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
I watched somebody get one done. That was
really?
That was a bloody mess. A lot of blood.
Oh, I bet.
What is a subdermal?
So where you have something, inserted into your skin, so it's underneath your skin.
I don't think so.
There was a guy who did a lot of body modifications to other people and himself, and he had this giant ring at the top of his hand, so it's underneath the skin, and he could flip it. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Why would you do that?
Oh, yeah, that gives me the heebie-jeebies, Waffle.
I don't like that.
I got this Bible bump. It kind of looks like a subdermal. You see that, Josh?
Yeah.
My Bible bump?
That's up there.
What do they call that again? I forgot the proper term for it. Anyway, so the dude has the nipples cut up and put under his skin, hairy hoofkloppen. Then a tattoo artist colors the nips so they appear to be more natural. Steve is the name of the body modification guy. I'm surprised his name isn't,
It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, Hook or something like that. I don't know, some hip. Steve is the name of the body modification guy. He agreed to toss 4 of these implants under Harry's skin. They're supposedly shaped exactly like natural male nipples. Harry Hoofkloppen waited for 4 months for the setup to heal, and now he's showing everybody and anybody his new 6-nippled situation. The story goes on to say that the inspiration behind Harry signing up for this here procedure was to raise awareness for folks who undergo mastectomies or for transgender people who want gender-affirming surgeries. So he's kind of doing it as a man of the people.
Thank you so much for getting those nipples on you.
I really don't want to, but I'll do it for you guys. Yeah. No, it's all right.
But what a load of crap.
What? No, he's representing all of us.
He's bringing great honor to the Hoofenkloppen name.
The everyman.
But now he's got to deal with 6 nipples raking up and down on the inside of his T-shirt when he goes for a walk. That would be irritating.
Hopefully he's not a runner.
Yeah, extra Band-Aids if he wants to run a 5K.
I've told you guys before, we have a family friend who has a 3rd nipple on his side, and he has pierced it.
Oh, so that's cool.
One of my bros.
Just to say, welcome to the world, 3rd nipple.
One of my tightest bros is a 3-nippled man.
Where's his 3rd?
If I remember right, it's kind of just an inch or 2 below one of the regular spots.
Right in that area.
Yeah.
My buddy's is off to his side.
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend that has a 3rd nipple, and I was super excited to find out because I was like, is that like extra stimulation? Like that'd be sweet. No, that's not the case.
Where is hers?
It's like on the side of her torso.
Dana has one in his glove compartment. It's weird. I'm not fat. I'm aerodynamic. Jesus, talking kind of subdermal related here. In 2009, he said he got married, and she's been under his skin ever since.
You son of a bitch bastard. Oh, okay. We got to get out of here, but I wanted to roll through this one real quick before it's too late. A cute little update on something we talked about, by God, last week. People named Kyle continue to do what we non-Kyles have always known them to do. They fall short of their goals, they disappoint, they fail. Another attempt by the city of Kyle, Texas to break the world record for the largest gathering of people with one name fell short this past Saturday. 706 Kyles of all ages turned up in Kyle, Texas for an event called the Gathering of the Kyles, but 706 Kyles wasn't enough to break a world record, which is what they were aiming to do. So the title is still held then by people named Ivan, who got together in 2017. 2,325 Ivans got together, so they're still the record holders.
They were not even close.
Yeah, nope.
Not in the wheel.
Last year they doubled it.
Right.
I guess other Kyles were like, screw it, I'm not going this year.
Last year they had 1,400 some odd Kyles, so they thought they had a shot at the Ivans, but then this year only 706 showed up. So the bid is waning. You know what I mean?
I didn't expect there to be that many Ivans. How many Ivans have you guys met? I haven't met a single one.
Well, this wasn't in America.
Yeah, there's probably a lot.
Yeah.
Ashley, this was in Bosnia.
And it was, I can't remember exactly the ranking of names. I was reading the ranking of names. Ivan was way up there.
Oh, all right.
Do you think the Kyles got mad at each other and now they have a tiff? That's why only half of them
Kyle
were there?
beef?
Yeah.
No, it's you know how these social media gimmicks go. For an hour and a half, everybody jumps on board, and then something else comes up. They go the other way, and they don't give a pump anymore. That's what happened, Wapple. But I would like to believe that there's a beef amongst the Kyles, and maybe we could be ringside for something like that someday. But
look, there's a dog on a skateboard in a tutu. All right, I'm not going to Kyle Fest.
Yep, that's going to attract some attention.
Kyle is not a terribly popular name. The most recent data showed Kyle ranked 416th among male names. Kyle landed on the list right between the names Andrade and Guy.
I've only known one Guy.
I remember the first time I met a guy named Guy, and I was so thrown by that.
I was too.
Me too.
Why would you name a guy Guy? I was a 7th grader. I hadn't been exposed to too much at that point in my life. I could not I thought he was joking.
He was the bass player in my high school band, Guy.
Guy was?
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke when the guy, he said, "Hello, my name is Guy," and I what? Why are you playing with me? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How can a guy be? What time is it?
6:55.
We got to get going.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's no stopping him. I feel like he's been the alpha of every series that he's been in. I don't know if Ant-Man can out-alpha Luka and Reed. You know what I'm saying? But listen, he has the energy. Man, listen, I haven't seen a kid with this much confidence since LeBron, D-Wade, Melo. And this kid got a lot of confidence. I'm a jaw, like, man.
Bring your ass. Bring your ass.
Sounds like Kevin Garnett is all in on this alpha gimmick. He referred to Anthony Edwards as an alpha.
Yeah, alpha and Sigma, you hear that a lot.
Oh, please.
Bring your ass.
Bring your ass, says Anthony Edwards, and everybody jumped on that. What's happening now? There's a website called Bring Your Ass or something like that?
It goes to the Minnesota Tourism website. Minnesota Tourism, they jumped on it too.
Yeah.
That's their unofficial slogan, Bring Your Ass.
A lot of Photoshop jobs.
Yeah, the Minnesota State Fair put up, their signage above the grandstand. They wrote "Bring Your Ass" on there. That was pretty cool.
My God,
that T-shirt company, that Soda Stick.
Yeah, I was just going to their website. They did it.
Yeah, they have already 4 T-shirts.
Isn't it crazy how everyone just goes bananas like this? It's.
I love it.
I think it's pretty
Getting
funny
me
too.
pumped.
Are you getting pumped?
Getting so pumped.
You getting psyched over there?
I want to buy a Bring Your Ass shirt.
Yeah,
You
me
do?
too.
Go ahead. I'm sure you can find one. Oh, wow. You know how we were talking about extra nipples?
Yep.
Some folks have 3, 5. There are folks out there with extra nipples. A touch of coffee with my creamer cheeses. Texted in to say she has a third nipple that grew while she was pregnant, and it gave milk. Is that
Really?
What? Women are so cool.
True that.
She had to have it cut. Off.
I wonder why she didn't keep it.
Get back to us. Why didn't you?
Is there a health reason or?
Why didn't you keep that third milk-giving nipple? Get back to us, lady. Real quick, the Twins are stuck in a damn rut. We'll talk to Dick Bremer in about a half hour about the Twins' struggles. They lost again last night to the Washington Nationals. Timberwolves tickets sold out for this next round of games.
I tried to buy a pair, and I couldn't. I tried right away, and it was all gone.
You really did?
Yeah.
That sucks. 15-minute.
That was it.
That's all you had.
Yeah, I thought about it until I saw the prices, and I just exited out of that website.
Well, see, I didn't even get to that. I must have went on just a couple minutes too late. Yeah, I read the same thing, that they sold out in 15 minutes, and that was that.
The cheapest one I saw when I checked was $220, $230.
Okay, that's better than I saw. I read an article saying it was like $300 was
Whoa.
cheap. So obviously they must have, at the beginning, had ones that are far less.
The Indiana Pacers and Boston Celtics fire up the conference finals tonight. They play Game 1 in Boston, 7 o'clock on ESPN, and the Edmonton Oilers are advancing to the Western Conference final. On the NHL side of things, they beat Vancouver last night, so their next opponent will be the Dallas Stars. That series begins Thursday night. Randy Shaver, Dick Bremer, Janel Klein, all at the same friggin' time here in about a half hour. Josh's News is coming up.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this summer. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst times.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
How wrestling really works and how you get the ratings. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson explain on 83 Weeks.
This is indeed the first WrestleMania without Vince McMahon.
I mean, it's about as horrible as it can get, but does erasing that history make it any better?
Everybody's being careful not to celebrate Vince McMahon. I think you can acknowledge him without celebrating him. I think that's the double-edged sword that everybody's sort of carrying for now.
83 Weeks on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed Morning Show. 93X.
I'm looking at, why is this cop car doing about 60 to 70 miles per hour flying with no lights? The way that cop car was split was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. A chaotic and violent situation unfolded in Los Angeles over the weekend when a man stole an LAPD patrol vehicle with a cop still inside. Ridiculous. The officer was working as part of a security detail near the infamous Graffiti Towers around 3:30 a.m. Sunday when she was attacked by a man who jumped in the patrol SUV and took off. At some point, the officer was ejected from the vehicle. The man crashed into several cars, scooters, and a bike rack during the brief chase before abandoning the SUV and taking off on foot. He was arrested a short time later. At least 3 people, including the officer, were hurt. None of the injuries were life-threatening, thankfully. The vacant high-rise building known as the Graffiti Towers have been targeted by vandals, and it's a dangerous place to be.
I'm looking at, why is this
kid got stabbed down there, then they shot and killed that suspect. A guy picking up coffee, he got killed right there, 3 in the morning. Somebody got killed, executed in this parking lot.
In Los Angeles, huh? I'll be damned.
Yeah, so I just got the sarcasm. Yes, in Los Angeles. Construction on the development started in 2015 with the goal of bringing condos, a hotel, retail, and state-of-the-art signage to downtown Los Angeles, but work stopped in 2019 when the developer ran out of money. It's crazy. They've got this somewhat beautiful new building originally, and then it's just turned into this giant graffiti billboard, basically, and a crime central.
Oh, that sucks.
A Florida man allegedly stole a school bus while drunk and drove to Miami in a wild weekend night outing. The Florida Highway Patrol said the suspect stole the bus near Tampa Saturday night. 32-year-old Daniel Saez then drove the vehicle to Miami, which is about a 4-hour drive.
It's crazy, but not that surprised. Crazy things happen every day.
He was eventually stopped in Sarasota, where he told authorities he was on his way back to Tampa from Miami to return the stolen bus, because when he sobered up, he realized what he'd done. He admitted to stealing the bus and was reportedly both drunk and high when that crime took place. A 34-year-old driver is facing several charges after deputies said he was caught driving recklessly on a Georgia highway on Friday just before 3 p.m. 911 received multiple calls regarding a 2014 Nissan Sentra with an oversized load banner speeding and driving recklessly southbound on Georgia State Route 15. Again, this was a Nissan Sentra with that banner. One caller told dispatch the man was running other drivers off the road. The vehicle continued southbound into the city of Clayton, where officers noticed the vehicle speeding, following others too closely, and driving without headlights in the rain. According to the sheriff's office, when an investigator tried to stop the man, he sped up within inches of another car, changing lanes without blinkers, and then sped up again. The investigator and a deputy were able to force the reckless driver into the median and take him into custody. No word on why he had that oversized load banner on his vehicle.
This guy just went wild.
Yeah. 2 injured women of a car crash in Mexico baffled bystanders when they crawled out bloodied from the wreckage and just couldn't help taking a selfie.
Come on.
Harrowing photos from the aftermath of the wreck shows 2 of the 5 women who were reportedly inside the car covered in blood. They were bleeding right there on the roadway. But as they struggled to even sit themselves up, one of the bloodied women could be seen holding up her cell phone and appeared to pose for a selfie with her injured friend, doing it for the gram, as they say. That, however, was not the only snap of their injuries they took. After police arrived to help move them away from the wreckage as they waited for medical assistance, the pair could again be seen taking selfies. The women posed for the snap, despite the fact one of them could barely walk, even with the help of an officer. He eventually set her down on the sidewalk after her legs gave out. Authorities are continuing to investigate the cause of that crash.
It's just second nature now.
Yeah, they just couldn't resist.
It's
And it
supposed
wasn't.
to-
They weren't taking pictures like for insurance or to document necessarily. It was just, hey, here we are. Look at this. Look
You
at
have
us.
to cover every single element of your life on social media, or people feel as if they're missing out on something.
Missed opportunity for likes, bruh.
Then in Canada on Sunday, an ambulance in Ontario collided with a moose while responding to another moose collision. The first crash happened about 1 a.m. A vehicle struck a moose, left the roadway, hit a tree, injuring 2 people. One of the 2 ambulances on the way to the scene also collided with a moose, leaving the rescue vehicle extensively damaged, no one injured, thankfully. The OPP warned motorists that an increasing number of moose have been coming out of the forest into the roads in an effort to escape, quote, swarms of insects, I guess,
My
are
God.
bothering these mooses. Mice?
Moosin.
Moosin? Is it really moosin?
No, that's not what it actually is.
Molson.
That's from a comedy bit.
I
You
bet
sounded
they'll-
very convincing with that, though, Ashley.
I bet they'll tune your vehicle up for you, huh?
Oh, yeah. I bet they could screw that up pretty good. No word on what happened to the moosin. A 36-year-old man's accused of disrupting a graduation celebration with a machete in Michigan. Saturday afternoon, troopers got a call about a disturbance around 2 p.m.
The man shattered the glass on the hall's front door with the machete before he then entered the building through a side door as a graduation party was being held.
That's when he started waving his machete and making statements like, everyone was going to hell, police said. 3 attendees used a chair to push the man out of the building. He left before law enforcement arrived, but it wasn't long before other authorities found him. He drove onto the lawn of the sheriff's office where he threatened a corrections officer with his machete. Other law enforcement arrived to help calm down the scene, and police were able to subdue him without any injuries. A South Carolina man's behind bars after allegedly cutting a person's toes off with his machete.
God dang.
Dude.
Matthew Hellman was booked last week for an incident he was involved in April. A police report states an officer responded to the scene where the victim crawled to the door to let the officer inside. The person explained that he and Hellman were in a recent feud, and they got into a short tussle before Hellman was able to push him to the ground. He told police he got into a defensive position, holding his left leg and arms up, hoping to block Hellman, who was coming at him with the machete. But Hellman hit the victim's left foot with the weapon, striking 2 of his toes. He's also accused of going into the kitchen and throwing plates and bowls at the person before leaving. It wasn't enough to cut off his toes.
Man, that's horrible.
A man robbed 2 Indianapolis stores Friday. And while he shouldn't have done it, considering what he stole, you can kind of understand. 55-year-old Alonzo Sansbury was arrested after robbing a Dollar Tree and Big Lots. At Dollar Tree, he allegedly attempted to pay with a fake $100 bill and then demanded money from the register. Shortly after, he hit Big Lots, where he stole some money and some Funyuns and nothing else.
Yum.
He was charged with 2 counts of robbery. A Pennsylvania resident doing a little yard work on his property dug up a, quote, significant amount of cocaine. Police were called to a home about 7:30 p.m. Saturday for a report of a suspicious item which had been found. When they got there, they spoke to a resident who was doing yard work and found something strange, which police took for testing. They later learned the item was a significant amount of cocaine packaged for sale. Police didn't provide any other details or speculate on how the cocaine got there or how long it had been buried. How deep would you bury some cocaine packaged up for sale, Wobble?
6 feet.
6 feet?
6 feet.
Yeah, typical.
Yep.
Brett Michaels refused to leave Barstool Nashville late Friday night, so he was arrested. Security for the establishment flagged officers following the incident. When they arrived, police noted that Michaels, 32-year-old Brett Thomas Michaels, not the Poison singer, but just as bald, showed signs of intoxication. When they told the man, who never sang in the multi-platinum 80s rock band, that the business wanted him off the property, Brett Michaels became argumentative with officers, but eventually left. Then, however, Michaels, not the one who made a sex tape with Pamela Anderson in the late 90s.
Oh, I just watched that recently.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Does it hold up?
Yeah, it's still good.
How does it compare to the Tommy Lee one?
They're very different. I don't think you can really compare the two.
I picture the Bret Michaels one being a little more romantic. Like more love-making.
Yeah, he does strike me as a sensual lover.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not very romantic.
Not really?
No, it's just straight up getting it smooth on, you know?
Filth.
I mean, how detailed? With Tommy Lee, we learned a lot. Did we with Bret Michaels?
Yeah, you learn everything you'd want to know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is it something where Bret Michaels maybe hadn't seen the Tommy Lee one and released it? Because if I saw the Tommy Lee one, there's no way I'd want my penis on video with the same woman, sir.
I understand what you mean. I'm not sure how that all worked out. If it was, Bret did it on purpose or Pam did it on purpose. Who knows?
I wouldn't want that out there.
It's not bad.
Is it, it's not must-see TV or anything?
No, none of that stuff I don't think I'd call.
Josh, swing by this afternoon. We'll sit down and we'll watch it together. How about that?
No, I'll pass.
It's good.
Yeah, all I've seen of the Tommy Lee one was the infamous horn honking and on the boat there with his penis.
Well, okay, I just realized a grand difference between the Tommy Lee, Pamela Anderson porno movie and the Brent Michaels, Pamela Anderson porno movie. The Brent and Pam is much easier to watch because they set a camera up on a dresser.
Oh, okay,
or
sure.
possibly a
Like
tripod.
So it's not like the shaky cam footage of the boat stuff?
Right. Pam and Tommy is, drunk dork from Motley Crue holding the camera, and it's wobbling, and it'll make you sick to your stomach after a while.
How's the dialogue in the Bret Michaels one? Because
I don't know that I've ever watched it with the sound on.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh. I would think that would add to something.
I don't know if they communicate or not. I don't know if they have any verbal communication.
How cruel would it be if they're playing like Home Sweet Home or something in the background? Yeah, because I was wondering, because what I saw of the Pam Anderson, Tommy Lee one, it was very annoying the way they talked to each other.
Yeah, really corny, cheesy stuff.
The pet names and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. That gets tired fast. You're right about that. A good memory you have a great memory for the Tom and Pam one.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple. It's easy to remember. I just saw a couple of parts there. So, all right. Well, if you watch it again, get back to me. I'm very curious.
You know who I'm most jealous of, at least when it comes to 80s rockers making porno movies with the pretty ladies?
Who's that?
I'm jealous of Vince Neil, who made a porno movie with Janine Lindemulder.
Oh, yeah.
Wah, wah, wee, wah.
She had a couple out there, too, didn't she?
That I don't know. She's a professional porn star for many years, so it was no thing but a chicken wing on a string from Burger King to her.
Wasn't she? She was with Ricky Rackman for a while.
That I don't. Ricky Rackman, the guy from Headbangers Ball?
Yeah, maybe I'm getting. I thought he was with somebody. And
I believe you're confusing her with the late Savannah.
That could be. Yeah. Well, we'll get back to all this. Maybe we could dedicate it.
I enjoyed that. I don't know why everyone was chuckling over there. I mean, Josh is just asking questions.
I know, and I loved how genuinely curious Josh was about this. It was like kind of heartwarming.
I live vicariously through you guys. You know this.
Janine Lindemulder. If you don't know, you're a moron.
Lots of season finales tonight, including The Cleaning Lady on Fox, FBI, FBI International, and FBI Most Wanted, and their seasons on CBS. On ABC tonight, The Rookie and The Good Doctor come to a close. The premiere of the limited series Lola, or maybe it's Lala, that probably makes more sense. The story of Lollapalooza is streaming on Paramount Plus, and making its Max streaming premiere, Dune. Part 2.
All-time great broadcaster and Minnesota Twins ambassador, Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a call right there.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
There it goes!
On the Half-Ass Morning Show.
Will Brennan with the fly ball to deep right field. Kepler's back. Wave goodbye.
Yeah, one of the lowlights lately for the Minnesota Twins, that home run the other night, a walk-off by the Cleveland Guardians. Tuesday's the day around here if you like big shots. Highly regarded all-time greats like Janel Klein, television star. Hi, Janelle.
Good morning.
Tired, retiring, out-of-style news anchors. Randy Shaver. I said Randy Shaver?
Maybe didn't like the intro.
And then we got full-on immortals like our next guest, the mayor of Twins baseball, Dick Bremer. Hello, is Dick there?
I'm here.
There he is.
Well, how come you showed up and Randy didn't?
I may have had something to do with your introduction.
He might have just sung right up.
But we're old pals, me and Randy. I can say things like that. And but this time, I finally went too far, Josh?
I don't know. Maybe he fell asleep.
I went too friggin' far.
You said he was tired.
He is a tired... Oh, well, let's see what's going on with Randy. Dick Bremer, thank you again for joining us. The Twins are stuck in a damn rut. I'm kind of counting on you to cheer us up a little bit. I don't know what you got, but...
Well, we've seen it all before, right? We've seen it earlier this year. This team can't score runs, and the guy who pitched against them yesterday kept just spinning breaking balls in the outer half of the plate, and it seemed to me like the guys were trying to pull everything, and that's what happens. They've got to somehow find a way to have better at-bats, and it kind of snowballs, I think, when a lineup isn't scoring runs, and this team hasn't scored many runs consistently all year long. It tends to wear on the pitching staff, too, and we saw it yesterday, I think, from Lopez, who's better than that. You give up a couple of runs, and it kind of snowballs on you. It happened to Paddock, even though he pitched well the game before. You give up early runs, and then the at-bats get worse, and then the pitch gets worse, and they'll snap out of it. It's just not real fun to watch right now.
No, and of course it all started with the New York Yankees last week, and then Cleveland, and now the Washington Nationals beat them last night 12-3. They've now dropped 7 in a row. Please tell me, Dick Bremer, we're not going to see a 12-game win streak and a 12-game losing streak in the same season.
Well, I'm dating myself maybe a little bit, but the Twins had a year like that in 1985 where they had a 10-game losing streak followed immediately, I think, by a 9-game winning streak, and then a week or so later, another 10-game losing streak. Let's hope it's not one of those years.
Yeah, it's tough right now.
Maybe they need a different rally meat, you think, or a different rally item of some sort.
You see, Brad Ryder was trying to kill the rally sausage the other day, too. So Dick, what are your thoughts on maybe
how many games do you go?
A new grocery store item that could possibly bring the boys back around?
Well, that would be fine. I'd prefer just to watch somebody get a leadoff double and have a couple of at-bats afterwards that would have that guy come around and score, and instead, when they do get like a leadoff double, he not only doesn't score, he doesn't even get to third base because of strikeouts or what have you. So they just need to have better at-bats. They went through a stretch like this last year, late in the season, in that awful series against the Atlanta Braves, and they figured it out. So let's hope they can figure it out here quickly this year.
I hear you. On the Nationals side of things, Luis Garcia hit a dong and drove in 3 runs, and Eddie Rosario also had 3 RBI for the Nationals last night. Dick Bremer, of my opinion, Eddie Rosario has one of the prettiest swings that I remember from Twins history. There's a few guys you can look back and say, wow, they had a pretty swing. I always thought that Eddie's was just really, and I saw it last night. I mean, he just has this pretty swing. Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, and plus I think we really enjoyed it when he was with the Twins and he won a World Series with the Braves and all that. But he tends to rise to the moment. He seems to really enjoy the big stage. I guess maybe that's natural when you work hard to get to the big leagues. You stand in the box and you hit the first pitch you ever see for a home run. I just really liked his ability to calmly, if you will, rise to the occasion and deliver in big moments. And, I'm surprised, frankly, that he's not playing for a more competitive team than the Washington Nationals are right now, because I think that's something championship teams have, whether it's baseball or, as we witness now, in basketball, too, that you got to have players in the game that rise to the occasion and feel comfortable on the big stage.
Yeah. Hey, we'll end up talking some Wolves here after your visit is through. But what do you think? I mean, did you watch that Game 7 the other night? That you must have been.
Oh, of course, yeah. How could you not watch it? And not that everything gets reduced to baseball terms, but in baseball, it would be the equivalent of the Twins playing the Yankees in Game 7 at Yankee Stadium and being down 7-1 in the 6th inning and finding a way to come back and win. It was just tremendous, so much fun to watch, and a reminder why we're sports fans, right? We get frustrated when things like that don't happen, but when they happen, it is so much fun to be a very small part of it.
Oh, God, it was a riot. Janelle, were you watching the game?
Oh, my God, yes. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought it was over?
Well,
Maybe.
yes.
Maybe you thought it was over at halftime.
I did, and then, they start to come back, and I won't let myself get excited.
You don't?
I can't take it.
So you're not screaming?
Not until the end. Not until, that, the very, very end. Because I was like, no, this isn't going to happen.
See, I make a fool of myself. I'm screaming and hollering and cursing up and down.
Yeah. Didn't your wife tell you to chill the other day? I thought you had a story like that.
Yeah, she got a little burned out during the regular season at how angry I get when watching the Wolves. Specifically, the refereeing drives me crazy. Yeah. And so, we had a sit down, Josh, you're right, where the wife told me, I got to dummy it down. But funny you bring it up. During Game 7, she said, free game, wide open.
Oh, see?
She gets it.
Compromise in marriage.
Yes, there is. I'm just starting to learn that term. But she said, since it's Game 7, she said, let her buck. And I did not. Dick, can you you've seen so many different games in person and called games. Does it still get to the point where you're hollering at the television?
Yeah, I had my hand on the remote about 6 times in the first half. My thumb was ready to go to something else. But, it's the NBA. I think what we saw in Game 7 tends to happen more in basketball and NBA basketball than in any other sport. Just seems that way to me. And so I hung with it, but no, it was really frustrating because so much was at stake. And, the Twins have done okay in Game 7 situations in the World Series, but, when there's so much at stake and the team looks as completely disorganized as the Wolves did in the second quarter the other night, it's hard to watch, but maybe a lesson for all of us to just be patient and let the game play out, and sometimes something magical will happen like it did the other night.
Yeah, I like your comparison to watching maybe the Twins win a Game 7 at Yankee Stadium when down 5-6 runs in the 6th inning. God, if I could only be so lucky to see that in my lifetime. This town would come uncorked if the Twins won a meaningful playoff game on the road, even just beating the Yankees, no matter where it is, where this place would come uncorked. But let's say on the road at Yankees, kind of like what the Red Sox did in their 3 games to 1 comeback, whatever that was 20 years ago. Dick Bremer, I think we'd have to call extra police into town to control people.
Well, the irony is not that the Twins' record at Yankee Stadium is great. They've actually, in playoff games, they've got a better record at Yankee Stadium than they do at the Metrodome or Target Field. They've back in the day, and it's been 20 years ago or whatever, but they actually won the first game of series a couple of times at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And then had the whole series get turned upside down for one reason or another. But they actually, what little success they've had against the Yankees in the playoffs, it's been at Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Oh, tonight, Game 2 of the series with the Nationals. Joe Ryan's going to pitch against a character by the name of Patrick Corbin. 5:45 is game time on Bally Sports North, if you have it. Oh, Josh mentioned in our news report, Dick Bremer, that today is Kent Herbeck's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Herbie.
Yeah. How old a guy is he now, Josh?
64.
Can you believe that, Dick Bremer?
It's discouraging because I know I'm a couple years older than he is, and so he's 64. I mean, if you put it in perspective, personal perspective, that means I'm a few years older than he is. Just saw him, not that long ago, and he's devoutly following the Twins and going fishing and doing all sorts of fun stuff. Still very much connected to the Twins organization.
Yeah, you guys fish together now and again?
Yep, we have, and done some hunting together and all that. A long, long time ago, I was on his TV show. He had an outdoors TV show, and we went goose hunting together.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Kent Herbeck. Now, see what you make of this. A website called Bleacher Report put together, you see this all the time nowadays, but it's always fun to talk to for me. They put together the Mount Rushmore of home run hitters for every big league ball club. And that Mount Rushmore, now suddenly I feel like I've maybe edited incorrectly. I have. This is correct. The 4 Twins that they put on the Mount Rushmore for home run hitters will be Bob Allison, Kent Herbeck, Harmon Killebrew, and Justin Morneau. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, but it made me flash back to, I think it was in the postseason of 1987. Somebody came up with the slogan Mount Crushmore, and they had Herbeck, Bernansky, Gaetti, and Puckett. And 3 of those guys had over 30 home runs, and the other guy had 28. And so that was, I think they sold T-shirts and sweatshirts and all that. Mount Crushmore, and that was one of the reasons the Twins had their dramatic World Series victory, is they had a lot of power in the middle of the lineup.
They did. And, of course, with any ball club, you can debate who might belong or might not belong on this supposed Mount Rushmore. The biggest debate, according to Bleacher Report, I guess, was Kent Herbeck. They say Herbeck was never a top-tier power. He reached 30 home runs just once in his career, but he was consistent. He slugged at least 20 home runs in 10 of the 12 seasons where he played at least 100 games. And they also do mention that the Twins have a thin field of options when it comes to – it's true. I mean, they just haven't had that long line of big power hitters.
Well, we had that long stretch without a 30-run home run hitter for a couple decades.
Until Morneau came along, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and finally, a fun fact from this website. I'm sure Dick Bremer is aware of this. There have been 11 40 home run seasons in Twins history. 8 of them belong to Harmon Killebrew. That ties him with Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, and Alex Rodriguez for the second most 40-homer seasons all time, behind only Babe Ruth, who reached that mark 11 times. Harmon just knocked the ball over the damn fence. That's what he did. What do you think?
And it seems strange. I mean, you look at that 40 home run list, and the name that really would jump out at you would be Brian Dozier, who we would not think of as being a home run hitter, but when he hit 44, I think, one year, something like that. And you wouldn't think, I mean, Brian was pretty solidly built, right, and spent a lot of time in the weight room, but he was wherever he was, 5'11", and 200 pounds or whatever he was, but for a few years there, he was among the top home run hitters in the game.
Yeah, the one year when he hit, like you said, 44, that was fun to watch. That had to have been the same season when he hit the walk-off over the Tigers, right, Dick?
Yeah, I think so, in the ninth inning, right before the All-Star break, I remember.
I was at that game. That was a thrill, absolutely. All right, I forget, Dick Bremer. Which side of the fence are you on when it comes to Major League Baseball umpires and the idea of one day having it all computerized, if that's the right term? Which side of the fence are you on?
Yeah,
straddling it?
I really think they need to have the electronic strike zone called. There's just too much. Hitters, I think, maybe have a better idea of a strike zone or what the strike zone is than maybe they've ever had. And sometimes you think that they've got a better idea than maybe the umpires do. I like what Carlos Correa said, because I think that, in fairness to the umpires, the mistakes they make are not intentional when it comes to calling balls and strikes. But, the pitches are coming at them faster than they ever have before. There's more vertical movement. There's more horizontal movement. It's tougher to umpire behind the plate now than it's ever been. And the easiest remedy, the quickest remedy, is to just have an established strike zone. We have the technology to do it. Why wouldn't we do it? And the pitchers and the hitters have no complaints with anybody or anything, because it was in the zone, it was out of the zone, it clipped the corner, it didn't clip the corner, and you just move on and just accept that the strike zone is there established, and it's not up to the human eye to determine what it is.
Right. If a batter can be fooled, then an umpire can be fooled. And I think
absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. And you watch the games now, and it frankly drives me crazy. There's so much focus on the catchers trying to frame pitches and moving the glove after the ball is caught, and that's the focus to the point where catchers are in a really precarious position. Next time, if you watch the game tonight, and whoever's catching, I think it'll be Jeffers tonight. So watch when he's catching what possible use his shin guards have for him, because they've got their knee down in the dirt, and instead of having a shin guard, they ought to have a thigh guard,
right,
because that's how they're taught now to catch pitches, to try to frame them, and they just leave themselves vulnerable to get beaten up mercilessly behind the plate. And it would be nice, I think, if we had the automatic strike zone and catchers could focus on catching and throwing rather than trying to frame pitches.
And I agree with you. I like Carlos Correa's idea. That's where I was going with this. Carlos Correa was talking about the perception that big league umpires are getting worse at calling balls and strikes, and he mentioned that the umpires should have access to the same pitch comm system that pitchers use, so the umpire knows what's coming. I really think that's a clever idea. It'll probably never happen. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that. So much is changing quickly with sports, but I really like the idea of the umpire knowing what's coming. I think that would help him a great deal.
And if it would help them more accurately call balls and strikes, then yeah, I'm for that too.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, so much has changed. Just taking it a tick further, I don't think it would bother too many of the purists, but then again, who knows? Max Scherzer, now, if you remember, Max Scherzer, I want your take on this. He thinks we should be grading the umpires, and if they don't do well, they should be sent to the minor leagues like a regular player.
There would be a lot of up and down movement, wouldn't there?
Designated for assignment.
Oh my God, these guys would have unbelievable bus fares and whatnot. It would.
Yeah, it'd be like middle relievers where, okay, guy did a good job, he did fine, but he had one bad inning, so we're going to send him down to AAA for a while. The umpires union, and they are unionized, they would never, ever go for that. And that's one of the things, too, that really is unfortunate, that umpires are graded, but there's no penalty or no ramification if they consistently do a bad job. And there's some umpires out there who do that. I mean, the reason certain umpires are in the postseason all the time is that they're the best we've got. Mm-hmm. And when you accept that, then you have to acknowledge that, well, there's some out there that aren't really very good at it, but there they are. And I know for a fact that in the clubhouse before a series starts, if one of the umpires who is perceived to not do a very good job behind the plate, the pitchers are very aware that, oh boy, Sunday afternoon, so-and-so's behind the plate, now I got to deal with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One of the umpires that gets picked on a lot on the internet is Angel Hernandez. Here's a text that just came in. Trades worker Jesus says Angel Hernandez will be graded so badly he'd be sent back to Little League.
Back there beyond the T-ball plate.
People sure seem to hate that guy. That's
Big league fans do not like Angel Hernandez. I love the name. Jesus, I wish my name was Angel Hernandez.
Yeah,
isn't that cool?
That is sweet.
That is so cool. I would just... I would always want to... I'd introduce myself with my full name every time. Strikeouts are a problem with the Twins again this year. Last year was... if you want to talk strikeouts, here we go, Dick. I'm not afraid to... and I know you're not afraid also to talk a little college baseball. The University of California... how do I say this? The University of California Irvine Anteaters college baseball team. Oh, was I talking about strikeouts? Yeah, forget that. This is not about strikeouts. This is about being hit by a pitch. The Anteaters set a college baseball record over this past weekend after a series with Cal State Fullerton. Through 52 games, the team has been hit by 156 pitches. That's a new Division I record.
Oh, my gosh.
Hope they got enough icy hot in the locker room or the clubhouse.
So what? That's like 3 a game, right?
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Great arithmetic on Dick's part right there. Yes. That took me a while to figure out, but yes, they were hit on average exactly 3 pitches in each game. That is a bruised up ball club.
And hopefully nobody got seriously hurt. I mean, how many times do we see it at the big league level where a guy gets hit in the wrist or the hand, breaks a bone, and they're out for a month and a half? Wasn't that... This is going back to the TV show Cheers. Wasn't Coach's claim to fame as he got hit by pitches more than anybody else?
Yes, you're correct. Coach Ernie Pantuzzo. He'd take one right off the bean, he said. As good as a base hit. As good as a base hit. Yes, 3 times a game, 156 HBPs through 52 games. The old record was 152. And, right, we certainly... I didn't see anything in the article over any players being hurt terribly.
It said it was all just bruises and stuff.
And I think, Josh,
real bad.
The record breaker was a dude who got hit in the ankle by a fastball, and he was pretty pissed off about it.
Yep.
He did not want to be the name that goes into the record books for that.
Well, and then that flashes back to the other day when Ryan Jeffers has been the most productive Twins hitter this year, and he stood in there against the Cleveland closer, Class A, and took a 101-mile-per-hour fastball, not off the elbow, but off the elbow pad. And if he hadn't had the elbow pad on, Ryan Jeffers might have been out for a couple of months. Oh. But that was a scary, scary moment, and I'm glad it just hit the elbow pad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were important innovations in the game. The elbow pad, the extra guard that kind of flies out over your cheek from the batting helmet. What else do guys? A lot of them wear the shin guard for many years now for the guys who might chop one down onto the top of their foot. That always looked like the most painful thing you could go through up there.
Well, the guy who took it to the next level was A.J. Pierzynski, because he went up to the plate with half a suit of armor, and his excuse was he was a left-handed batter, right? But he right-handed throwing catcher, and so he had to protect the right arm. But he looked like half of the Michelin Man up there with all the padding he had.
Yeah, he was pretty padded up.
Did you guys see this woman? I think it was yesterday, and she posted a picture where she got hit in the face by a fastball at a Blue Jays game.
Yeah, that looked really bad.
Oh, my God, her forehead.
Yeah, I posted that on 93x.com if anybody wants to check it out.
Dick, did you see this lady who got hit by a line drive at the Blue Jays game?
Yes, yeah. And sometimes pitchers... instinctively go after the ball. This time the guy just walked toward first base. He knew he wasn't going to be able to move.
I mean, the lump on her head is wow.
It looked like the baseball went inside her head.
Yeah, like she got hit from behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a cartoon.
And it was just coming right out the front.
Check that out on our website if anybody hasn't seen it. Yeah, she stayed and watched the rest of the ball game, and then she's looking for some kind of hookup from the Blue Jays. I don't know. I mean, personally, I'd say go home, for God's sake. But she's looking for some free tickets or something. But
so
yeah, that's a hell of a knot.
The picture where somebody had she had the huge knot, it's like baseball size, and they put stitches on there and an autograph. I was wondering if maybe she actually did that.
I thought that was Photoshop.
I think it probably is, but that was pretty funny.
Because like Ashley said, it looked like she had a baseball sewn under the skin.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
It did put laces on it. It put Rawlings or whatever.
Yeah,
on the
it
side.
Looked like skin-colored baseball.
That'll drop you down a couple reading levels, I think.
I think so.
Right there. Oh, wow. Dick Bremer, thanks again for a wonderful visit. Tonight, we'll be hoping the Twins can break that losing streak against the Washington Nationals. Have a good one.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Thank you, Dick Bremer. Yeah, that lady took that 110-mile-per-hour foul ball off the noggin, stayed for the rest of the game. I had a knot like that on my skull once. And it kind of scared well, it didn't scare me at first. We were playing a beer league tournament down in New Ulm, I believe, or Wyndham, one of the two. We used to win the title down there year after year. They got tired of us, The 6-1 tours coming down there and winning that friggin' tournament.
I bet.
And we had a particularly rough game with some dudes from Owatonna.
Oh.
A lot of scraps, a lot of slashing each other up and down. It was a very spirited game with these Owatonna dudes. And I'm skating backwards into our zone, playing defense. and a dude is charging our net, and I got Vinny over there playing goal. I got to protect Vinny, right? So I kind of met up with the guy, a little body to body, as he was charging the net. My job is to get in his way, and he and I had some moments earlier in the game where I knew, okay, this is probably where the S is going to hit the fan. So when we kind of busted into each other, he purposely pulled my helmet off of my noggin, which wasn't difficult to do. I had like a 1979 Stan Mikita piece of garb. None of us really paid attention to a headgear. He pulls my helmet off me, and Wapple, real deal 1986 Jake the Snake Roberts DDTs me on the ice. And it knocked me silly. I didn't know what the hell was going on for 10, 15 seconds. I get up. We jaw jack a little bit, me and the guy. We both get sent off to the penalty box. I'm sitting there just, okay, things happen. One of my buddies on the bench comes over and goes, dude, you might want to go look in the mirror. I get off the ice. I had a knot on my head, like about what you saw from that gal at the Blue Jays game. Ooh. Okay, fair enough. I couldn't pull my helmet back on my head again.
Oh, my God.
That's how big it was. But I wasn't really concerned about it until I came to work here the following Monday. Josh, you were sitting there. We're sitting in the front lobby at the old Golden Valley broadcast building. A lot of bad memories there.
Outside of the hacky sack, that was kind of fun.
We like to play hacky sack. Other than that, a lot of bad memories.
Yeah, you're right.
But we're sitting up front. Terry Train from used to be on KQ's show, of course. Terry comes and sits down and goes, "Oh, my God, what happened to your face?" And I explained the story to me, and she said, well, a lot of times you can have licks to the noggin where you don't feel anything's wrong, and then 2 days later you drop dead. And I said, oh, thanks for that information. So the next 2 days I kept wondering if this is going to be it for me.
Did you get a black eye?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, it was a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was black, yellow, green, every day. It was horrible looking. Oh, well, there you go.
You kind of look like the very end of the pizza crust is the big bubble right over there. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Do we have any idea what's happened to the ass man?
No, I can't get a hold of him at all.
Well, we hope
everything's... slept in, probably.
He must have slept.
Yeah, I gave him a couple calls, text message.
Well, we hope everything's okay. That's somewhat concerning. But he is a grown man, and he's on his own at the same time. On his own. All right, Janel Klein. I'm gonna jump in on this because everybody else is. I want to know if you're down or what.
Okay.
Bring your ass.
Bring your ass.
You dug it?
I love it.
I love it. I love him. I find him very entertaining.
Anthony Edwards is so fun and funny.
Yeah.
And loose.
Yeah.
And cool.
He's just himself.
Yeah.
He's not putting on a show necessarily. He's not being somebody else. He's being himself.
Effortlessly charming.
Yes.
Bring your ass, he said to Charles Barkley the other night.
Bring your ass.
I was watching that live. That was hilarious.
Yeah, same here.
I was also watching it. If folks missed it after they clinched Game 7, of course, Barkley and the TNT crew are interviewing Ant, and Barkley made some comment about how I haven't been to Minneapolis in 20 years, which is a wild exaggeration. He was here like 2 years ago.
Yeah, some people like to do that, right?
Yeah.
I haven't even been there.
And when he said, I haven't been there in 20 years, Ant dumps the line on him, bring your ass. Well, now it's a website. They're making T-shirts, banners, headbands.
Yeah, Minnesota Tourism Board, they've jumped on it. Everybody has.
I love it.
It's the
So
new
much
slogan.
fun.
The new tourism slogan around here is bring ya. And then social media dorks bombed Charles Barkley with restaurant recommendations because Charles said to Anthony, you got to give me somewheres to eat.
Oh, yeah. I tweeted at him.
You did?
Yeah.
What would you say, Josh? I like Applebee's, Chili's.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. My first thought is chain restaurants, which you get everywhere.
Yeah.
But in St. Paul, there's this place called Ramit. It's some of the best Thai food I've ever had. Not that I'm a Thai food expert, but
it's hot
I enjoyed
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I immediately went bougie with, I know I've talked about this restaurant on air before because it's my favorite place, the Butcher's Tail in Minneapolis. The best food I've ever had in my life. Oh, my gosh.
There's one called, is it Chipotle?
Something like that. Yeah, you're close.
Some sort of like Hispanic food in some way.
My mom calls it Chipotle's.
Chipotle's?
I don't know these things. I don't know fancy schmancy joints, and I don't
either.
But Janelle, what would you say? One joint.
Well, I mean, it's
For Charles Barkley.
I
Yeah.
don't know. When I have friends or like clients or whatever come in, a lot of times I will just say, you got to have a Juicy Lucy, right? Like, you got to give them the Minneapolis experience. So that's probably what I would say. And he seems like he would be cool with that. Like, he's not going to demand the fanciest place in town.
I don't think so. I think Charles just wants a fat steak and a baked potato.
I
and,
bet
you know.
he'd like a Manny's or something like that.
I did see a tweet yesterday. I can't find it now, but somebody said that his like palate is like the palate of like a 10-year-old.
Mhm.
So
Well, I
like the
can relate
bougie
to that.
places aren't really going to get his attention because he likes like a well done steak and stuff like that.
Yeah, he likes donuts. He likes just basic stuff. He's not a fancy dude.
I thought of another one. This might be a chain because I think there's a couple of Bolvinos. Have you ever been there?
No, never heard
one
of
of
it.
those Brazilian places where like they swarm you with meat.
Oh, I love those
Or
places.
Dana's mom's bedroom, that kind of thing. I like that place.
Type of place you leave with the meat sweats going on.
Oh yeah.
I get a lot of grief for my childlike diet. Not so childlike that I put ketchup on a hot dog, of course. But yeah, hot dogs and mac and cheese. I don't. But
Devani's.
Oh, yum.
Just went the other night.
Sure, Devani's is a nice enough joint. Charles will have fun. I know that everyone hates Patrick Beverly now because he threw a basketball at someone at the ball game.
I still find him entertaining.
I still love Pat Bev. If I remember right, Pat loved one of the steakhouses here in the cities. I don't know if it was Manny's or Murrah's, but it was funny hearing Pat talk about it because it wasn't the steak that he loved. It was like something like the Szechuan green beans or something like that. He would go on and on about the green beans at one of these places.
A buddy of mine, he lived with me for a few years, and I never charged him anything. And so he took me to Manny's when he finally moved out. He grew up. He became an adult. He moved out. And that I had a ribeye that was like the size of a brontosaurus. It was so big, so good. Yeah, but I get embarrassed because our boss, he's been here a few years now, but he's newer to Minneapolis the last 5-6 years, however long he's been here. But a couple of years ago, for my anniversary, I wanted to take my wife someplace because I never really think of these types of things. I'm not familiar, so I had to ask this transplant from other parts of the country to tell me some good restaurants in Minnesota. I had no clue. I never go. And if the place doesn't have their name on the napkin, I'm unfamiliar. Usually most places I go to have plastic silverware and then names on their napkins.
Give us one more, Janel Klein.
Yeah, you're kind of a person of
You
the
go
world.
everywhere.
Well, I mean, I love steak, and so Murray's for sure, I think is great. And I mean, yes, the steaks, but I will tell you, the garlic toast. You guys ever been there?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've been there. It's been a while.
I mean, you can't go wrong with like a classic like that, right?
Oh God, garlic.
Casper's, that's good.
Never heard of it.
Oh, that's really good too. I would go like Young Joni, go pizza
Yeah,
route.
you could do
really
that.
good
fancy
award-winning
pizza, right?
pizza.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
We have so much good food in this town.
Yeah, we do. Shoot, there's a pizza place. Pizza Luce. I like Pizza
Oh, I
Luce.
love pizza.
Yeah.
We have good food in town. We do. Back to how much fun Anthony Edwards can be. The audio of Anthony and Carl Anthony Towns' press conference after Game 7, where some reporter is kind of, I think I know where this reporter was going, but he's asking the two of them about, usually you have to lose big before you win. How is it that you guys have found a way to win despite not losing? And the Anthony and Carl kind of tee off on the guy.
NBA history says you have to lose and lose big before you win. What is it about this team that says
We lost last year.
Yeah, but that's different. You have to lose at a bigger stage.
It's the playoffs. We lost last year.
We lost the last 2 years.
Damn. How much more we got to lose?
Yeah, how much you want us to lose?
Been losing for 20 years.
That's just the truth, dog.
Damn.
I've watched that video so many times.
It's funny.
I absolutely have fallen in love with their relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they should have some type of comedy show together.
I'm with you on that. They could have a reality TV show. I'd watch that.
I like how when Carl gets upset, his octaves of his voice go up.
Yes, that's
Yeah, I
so
saw.
cute.
There's a few parts in that interview, where he does that.
Come on, man. It's like Chris Tucker, like.
For me, being here 9 years, I've seen everything and seen it all. And
9 years. Just, man, right? But
honestly, I think this for us, we just so happy about this moment. We can't even like think about the next moment.
I'm thinking about it.
But the fans have been waiting for this moment, and this team has brought them this moment. So, it's up to us now to capitalize on this opportunity and be the best team we could be. And like I said, play Timberwolves basketball. The fans know what they want.
Anthony Edwards said Chris Finch is the best coach in the NBA.
It starts with our head coach, Chris Finch. He comes in every day, comes to work, he gets there early. He's thinking of ways to get me and Kat open looks. He's thinking of ways to get Mike and Rudy open looks. He's just a great coach, and he don't sugarcoat anything with anybody. Like, if Kat up, he gonna get on Kat. If I'm up, he gonna get on me. If Rudy up, he gonna get on anybody that's messing up throughout the game. And I think that's what makes him the best coach in the NBA to me, because no matter who it is, no matter how high the player is on the pole, he's gonna get on you from start to finish. And it starts with the head of the snake, and he's the head of our snake.
How can you argue with what Finchie's got going? Mm-hmm. Nipples, my friggin' wife and I used to call him. You guys don't follow this because this is the first Timberwolves basketball you've watched in 20 years.
Yep.
But early in his career, he seemed to kind of nip out in all of his Timberwolves gear. So we started calling him Nipples. No, we don't call him that anymore. We just call him Finchie.
That's so cute.
He would nip out at the ball game.
It must be cold in there.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a little chilly. Gets a little chilly in there, man.
Maybe it's the excitement. He's all hyped up. He gets kind of hyped up.
I get excited, too. Tonight, the Indiana Pacers and Boston Celtics will start up this year's conference finals. The Eastern Conference will go first. So, Pacers-Celtics tonight, Game 1 in Boston, 7 o'clock on ESPN. The Celtics, I imagine, are heavy favorites going into this series.
Who do we want?
Oh, I would rather play Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Both clubs are wonderful, but Boston,
they're good.
They're very good, and also I don't need the extra stress of facing an East Coast team if the Timberwolves get there.
I know.
If the Wolves get there, I will be, as I've said 2 or 3 times now, inconsolable. My stress level, my anger level, my excitement level will be peaked, and I will be a dangerous person to hang around with for however long the NBA Finals last, 3.5, 4 weeks. If they play Boston, I will take it that much more personally. So I would rather play Indiana, because if Indiana wins, guess what? I'd feel good for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To a certain extent, of course. But I would feel good for the people in.
Celtics are 10-point favorites in Game 1.
Okay. But for the whole series, I imagine most folks expect Boston will win it in 5 games, 6, maybe 6. Yeah, East Coast teams, Janelle, I can't.
I get it.
I get sick.
I know.
I say things that you can't take back.
He gets a little gassy. Anger gas.
I understand.
You know anger gas?
Janelle knows anger gas.
The East Coast teams.
Oh, the East Coast. They're such a bunch of friggin' know-it-alls. They know everything. They've experienced everything. We're just over here in stupid the Midwest. What do we know about anything? I'm from Boston. I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Oh, geez, Jesus thinks we should take the Cat audio, the losing for 20 years audio, and make that into a drop regarding our ratings.
Wow.
Obviously, this guy doesn't read up on what the hell's really going on out there. Who the hell you think you're talking to?
That's pretty good.
Number 1, ho.
They've been losing for 20 years.
Magic Johnson. I don't think this is fair, but it's kind of funny that people are picking on Magic Johnson on that godless social media because he mentioned Steph Curry's mom in a tweet. And here we go, Josh. Get your text machine ready.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's unfair what happened, but you can kind of understand. The way it's phrased is perfect.
Magic Johnson was tweeting at Steph Curry. Steph Curry won the Magic Johnson Award yesterday. That recognizes the NBA player who has, as they say here, exemplary cooperation and grace with the media and the fans.
And I know you're a fan of, speaking of fans, of Steph Curry.
Oh, God, I can't get enough Steph Curry.
One of your favorite athletes.
Cannot get
enough. Not just NBA.
You want one of his game-worn mouth guards, don't you? Just to have on the shelf as a nice collectible.
I want him to choke on one of his game views. So Magic Johnson tweeted, "Congratulations, Steph, on winning the this, that, blah, 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 blah. And by the way," Magic said to Steph, "I had fun hanging out with your mom last night at the WNBA game."
Oh, man.
He didn't mean anything by that.
Yeah, but you can't. You got to check
This
that
is a
stuff.
guy in his 60s, Ashley. He legitimately meant, "I enjoyed spending time with your mother."
Josh is correct.
Platonically.
Right.
At the game, he put. You can't.
Pardon me?
I mean, he said at the game.
Yeah, not after the game.
In a public place, at a
Right,
ball
thank
game.
you. Yes.
It's not, it's not like you said had a great time with your mom last night in the champagne room.
Right, but it's going to happen anyway.
They didn't go to an S&M club. They didn't go to a...
that we know of, at least.
Yeah, like Josh said, Magic is too old for this your mom movement. He certainly knows, like, yo mama jokes and things like that. That was, 25. He doesn't know the whole your mom movement. He doesn't. He's a nice guy. Although Steph Curry's folks are split up, right?
Boy, I guess I don't know.
I thought that Del Curry had divorced his wife. Del Curry, of course, played in the NBA way before Steph, and the other one, Seth, I think is his name. And Steph Curry's mother is a very attractive lady. Tell me that Del and the old lady are split up, because I've seen some pictures of who Del's hanging out with these days. God help us.
Yeah, they're split up.
Oh, no, it looks, according to Wikipedia, they split up in 2021 but got remarried last year.
Oh!
So they're together again?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know a couple who did
Oh,
that.
excuse me. He remarried somebody else in 2023.
Well, what the hell
I
is
know.
going on?
What a roller coaster.
What is going on?
I pooched that badly.
Okay. I've seen some pictures of Del with some of the women he's hanging out with. Jesus. But he's a good-looking dude, too, Del. What do you think, Janelle? Best-looking retro NBA player. Go.
Oh, man.
I'm kidding. Probably Kareem.
Probably.
Let's go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Let's go with it.
Edmonton Oilers advanced to the Western Conference Final in the NHL playoffs with a 3-2 win over Vancouver in Game 7 last night. The Oilers will face Dallas, and that series will begin Thursday night. Tomorrow night it'll be, Florida and the New York Rangers. So we can start playing the will a Canadian club make it to the Cup Finals game that we play every hockey season. Will a Canadian team, well, not just get there, because, the Montreal Canadiens got there 3 or 4 years ago. Can a Canadian team finally win? It's few and far between. I mean, Montreal was there 2, 3, 4 years ago. Prior to that, you got to go back, I think, to like 2010-11 when was Ottawa there, Calgary?
Yeah.
Okay, but
because it was like the Lightning, and then the Panthers, and then of course the juggernauts of Vegas. The hockey town,
hotbed.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal when a Canadian team gets there, but the story is always, will a Canadian team finally win after 1993 Montreal Canadiens? I mean, it's extra difficult now that there's 5 Canadian teams and 47 American teams.
Oh, another one popped up. That's 48 now.
Yeah. Well, where are they now? Right, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good. I'm ashamed of myself that I missed this yesterday, but we should call attention to it, and then we got to get the hell out of the way. The Kyle Busch fighting Ricky Stenhouse's dad at the NASCAR race the other night.
That was a pretty wild video.
That was fun.
This is why I like
Congratulations,
NASCAR.
Joey.
Did you see that?
Congratulations, Joey Logano fired up, and we've got a fight going on right now between Kyle Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Those two crashed back at lap number 2.
Get off of here!
And now the pit crews are involved.
Everybody got it.
The good news is it interrupted another dork-ass interview with Joey Logano. But that was fun. Did you see that, Janelle?
I did.
It's one thing where Busch is squared up with Ricky Jr., Ricky Stenhouse Jr., but then here comes the dad.
Oh, yeah.
Dad was pissed.
And Kyle.
That'd be so embarrassing. Dad,
It was. I would be embarrassed, too. But you know what I like about Kyle Busch? He wasn't afraid to punch an old man in the jaw.
Nope.
Don't get in my face.
And like the pit crew got into it.
Everybody's throwing each other.
I liked when the pit crew got involved.
They're throwing them off the truck. Get out of here.
Yeah.
NASCAR can still produce some ridiculous stuff like this.
Oh, I love it. There was just a fight like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's so fun.
I like that.
It does seem like it's happening often, doesn't it?
A lot.
They're trying to get more viewers.
Oh, God. I like that.
Bring your ass.
Bring your dad. Bring your dad to the mix. I'll knock your dad on his ass, too.
I mean, name the last time you saw a fist fight like that. Anywhere. Ever.
I'd imagine a Bourne family reunion.
Yeah, my brother and I almost had that fist fight over bocce ball a few years ago. How volatile is our family? Yeah, we can come to blows over bocce ball at a 5-year-old's birthday party. That's how it goes, Janelle.
Yeah.
You're sticking around with us?
I sure am.
That's great to know. We got to take a break. Janel Klein will return here with us in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this summer. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst times.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
Let's hear another success story. This one comes to us from Stacker Derek.
You guys are the best, and it's because of you I now understand retirement accounts, money in general, and how poorly the guests are treated when they show up. I really don't know where I would be without you. Thank you for $1,500, and here's to another $1,500 if Doug can survive that long without pay.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, welcome back to the program. By God, we're partying with Jungle Jane this morning. And a Jungle Jane party don't stop until all the hard liquor is gone. Janelle, you good?
I am great.
What's going on, girl?
God, what is going on? I don't know. I'm excited about the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
We already kind of talked about that, but
Sure.
I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I'm boring you guys.
You're not bored.
No. You and I were just talking about party outfits. That's exciting.
That is exciting. We are so wild, Josh.
Well, you and I, we're going to party
You and I
together.
Look
Party
out.
outfits?
Yeah, for Randy Shaver's charity gala this coming up weekend.
Wait, this weekend?
Isn't it this Sunday?
No, I think it's
No, it's
next
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, at the end.
Oh, God.
I was thinking we're off next week, so I
Yes.
was thinking right before we come back.
And you were talking a couple weeks ahead of time, the two of you are already talking about what you might wear.
Well, because I decided I want to class it up a little bit. All I have are hoodies, that's pretty much it. And I have a sport coat, which I wore to your father's funeral. Dana decided to wear a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt and shorts.
A sport coat.
A sport coat.
Yes.
So I thought that's a little too much. So I'm going to have to get a new outfit. And I was asking Janelle, what do we do?
I'm sure you folks can...
I think it ranges there, Josh, because some people are like really super dressed up, and then some people are more relaxed. So
Be
you can
yourself,
go either way.
Josh. Be yourself.
Janelle and I both agree we're there to get some. We're going to try and look good.
Dude.
Nice. Okay.
We want some rich action.
Oh, there is action.
Oh, and rich action at those.
There's money connected to the action, no doubt. At the Randy Shaver events?
Heck yeah. There is a high income earners there for sure.
I never thought of that, Josh. I'm leaving my boyfriend at home.
Yeah, you want some of that rich action.
Land yourself a sugar mama. She'll be 20, 25 years older than you, whatever.
Yep.
Let's have Cubby make a stop on Easy Street here before it's all said and done.
Yeah, she's on her fourth husband, her third face. You're going to see a lot of that there.
I'll tell you what, it's a good spot if you want to get some at the Randy Shaver gala coming up. We'll tell you all about it. I'm sure you guys will work something out as far as your outfit goes. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one.
Appreciate that.
Breaking news.
All right, let's dive into this online style social media bit. One of them, at least. Talk to me here. If you could choose one, which of these would you pick? Would you rather be 5 times richer, 5 times more attractive, or 5 times smarter? Janelle, you have no say in this because you're already 5 times richer, more attractive, and smarter than everyone else in the room.
Stop it.
At least 5 times.
You cannot comment. Of course, you can comment. Would you rather be 5 times richer, 5 times more attractive, or 5 times smarter? Now, the smarter says, meaning your IQ would be 5 times what it is now. I've never taken. Who knows their IQ?
Ooh, I don't. I know many years ago we took one of those tests, like one of those online tests.
Yeah.
I don't remember, which might mean I scored low.
I would really like it if we all took an IQ. I think that'd be interesting.
That would be
I'll try to find a legit one.
I've been hearing about it for years and years. And, your IQ, this and
I
that.
could take a DQ test and tell you about like a dilly bar or something like that.
That sounds like fun, too, a DQ. What would you rather be and why? Go!
This is actually tougher than I thought it was going to be. When I saw the headline, I thought, of course, well, richer. But smarter might be, that's kind of more appealing because 5 times richer than where I'm at right now isn't that impressive. It's like not really that 5 times smarter, I mean, again, still not impressive, but I'd be 5 times smarter, and maybe I could use that extra smarts to earn some real money.
There you go.
That's
Exactly. That's how I think most folks are going to play this like that, crossing over like you did, Josh, where you say, well, if I was smarter, then I'd likely make more money. Or if I was more attractive, then I'd likely make more money. So there's all different routes you can take.
Yeah, that's the route I was going to take, is that the 5 times more attractive, because then people don't care if you're smart. And you
You're
can
right.
use your looks to make money.
Yeah, you just get paid for being good looking.
That's
funny.
But 5 times more attractive than garbage isn't that attractive. That's not a shot at Ashley. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, 5 times more attractive than what I am now probably isn't going to make me any money.
I'm going smarter. I think that's going to be my
right.
answer.
I think you have to. It depends on who you are.
But what kind of smarter? Like smarter, like, oh, I could go be a brain surgeon, or smarter, like...
Well, it's 5 times where you're already at, so no to the brain surgeon.
Right. Everyone has a
learn how to
different...
change my own oil or something.
Yeah, everyone has a different starting point.
That's the thing.
Insomniac Jesus brings up a good point. 5 times richer actually gets you 2 categories because richer makes you better looking. Yes.
That is a good point.
That is
exactly.
true.
Yep.
There's all kinds of routes we can take here. What would you say is your strength amongst the 3, Janel Klein? Your money, your looks, or your smarts?
We think you're the total package.
None of the
Word?
above.
What?
Below average in all 3.
Well, you got to be good looking outside of... Yeah,
If you're below average in all 3, I don't even want to see my scores.
I might just go walk into the ocean if that's the case.
I mean, obviously, Randy Shaver brings down the curve, but you have to be attractive to be on television. So, I mean, you don't need to even comment on that, but you have to be attractive to be on television.
I don't know if that's really true.
Usually that's the recipe for success.
I don't know. I could show you some pictures of many times I was not attractive on television. Many.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I'm sure you're still a 10.
But I bet you that was when they had you on the beach when a hurricane hit town and you're soaked to the bone and you're freezing to death or something. I would go with the money.
I think I would too.
Would you really?
I think so.
The money.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that, like I said, that was my instant reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially at my age now, if you gave me 5 times the money that I have right now, I could likely walk away from this nightmare.
Well, something I guess I didn't. Is it 5? And I know I'm asking questions that it's not part of the thing, but if it's like 5 times the money the rest of your life, that obviously makes a difference.
I just 5 times like yearly salary.
No. It's just 5 times what you got in your bank account right now, Skis.
And that's it.
I believe that's what they mean by this.
Oh, heck no, then. I'm out on the money side.
Yeah, I'll have like $2,000 then.
Yeah,
if you times it by 5.
I'll go ahead and just be smart. I like that one.
If I'm 5 times more attractive, oh, great. I'm getting laid left and right, but I still have...
Well, wait. No. I mean, yes, with your wife.
Oh, if I'm 5 times more attractive than I am right now, I'm no longer married.
Why? You're not married because you're less than 5 times attractive. You're gorgeous, and you know this. Everybody knows this. 5 times more attractive, you're saying your wife would just be a little more
I would walk away
amorous.
faster than you can say Jack Robinson. You telling me Josh, if you're 5 times more attractive than you are right now, you're not going off and living the single life again?
No.
What, are you crazy or something?
Maybe.
No.
If I'm 5 times more attractive, that's great, but I still have to go out and model or whatever I have to do for my money. If I'm 5 times smarter, oh, great, now I can run NASA or whatever, but I still have to, if I just get 5 times the money, I can still continue to be the low-life moron that I am today and just, who gives an F? So
Plot
I'm going,
twist.
Yes, plot
Your
twist.
significant other, well, let's start with you. Which would you want them to choose? So your wife gets to choose. Is she 5 times smarter, richer, or more attractive?
So I'm choosing what?
For her, yes.
Well, wow, she's awfully smart.
She is very smart.
She's sort of good looking.
Oh, I think she's very good looking.
What would I choose? Oh, I would choose her. I would also choose money.
Money?
Yeah.
That's what I picked for my wife, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely money.
I mean, she could use all 3. Trust me. But I think I'd go money.
Oh, speaking of the friggin' wife, she just texted.
What'd she say?
Oh, she's got a smart-ass comment. She does. Let me find it right here. She's listening. She's a big fan. Here's what it says. I said I wanted the money. Here's what this is, she's playing off the 5 times more attractive gimmick. She says to me, you will need more than 5 times attractiveness to pull in the whores.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
She calls them whore. Why are they whores? Why aren't they just regular women?
When we were broadcasting from Wisconsin in the fall, she texted Nick, and she phrased it better, but something like, "Are you cheating on me?" But what did she say?
Yes.
She said it better.
She
committing adultery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Friday night, hanging out at that casino in Wisconsin, Turtle Lake Casino.
Yeah.
Because before I left the house, she said, "Don't cheat on me," and I said, "I'll think about it. It's a long drive, you know." And then when I got there, Josh and I having a couple of Steve Weisers, she texted and said, "Are you committing adultery?"
That's funny.
And I said, "No." She's always got to say something nasty like that. Whores.
Well, Ashley has the saying, Janelle, have you heard Ashley say? Ashley, it's your saying. You say it.
A picture a day keeps the hose away.
That's what it does. Did you know that?
I don't know. No. I've never heard that. Well, I don't get it. What do you mean?
Like a racy picture to your man every day.
Like you send him one.
It reminds him what he's got. What he's got at home.
My wife doesn't think I can pull down women with my current look. She thinks I'd have to be 5 times more attractive just to pull in whores.
My wife's the same way. If I said, "Hey, we're headed to Turtle Lake, I'm going to try and cheat on you," she'd laugh and be like, "Okay, buddy, good luck."
Good luck.
Yeah, you got a free pass.
My friggin' wife knows if I want to cheat, I can get it done. I can get it done.
I don't get the same respect.
This is going to be an argument when I get back to the house.
That's exciting.
I just don't see how being 5 times more attractive really does that much for you. Like, I think it's got to be the smarter or the money. Like, if you want to, like, to your point, cheat or do whatever, like, you can always find somebody.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You can be super ugly and do that.
Yeah, but you can also be really smart and have a bad job.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think
the answer is money.
Money.
The younger you are, I'm sure those are the people that are going to choose good looking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, here's, all the social media dorks, 8th graders and whatnot filled out this survey. And it looks to me like the most popular answer, would you want to be 5 times richer, 5 times more attractive, or 5 times smarter? The most popular answer was 5 times smarter. It just beat
If
the
I was
money.
smarter, I would have guessed that. But I definitely, that's where I'm going. I'm going with that.
It just beat the money out by a small percentage. So there you effing go. There were other folks went off the chart, or however you want to say it, and I don't know why that is. There was 3 choices. Just pick one, but folks have to be different. It's frustrating, isn't it, Janelle?
It is.
There were 3 choices.
Everyone's got to make it harder.
But I'm different. I have to. Folks threw in, they wanted to be 5 times physically stronger. Apparently, they want to win the AEW heavyweight. Okay, I mean, I get, being a massive, a big, strong guy like Pete Alonso from the New York Mets.
He is a big, strong guy.
I can see what's interesting or attractive about that, but so what? I can pick up a bus. What the hell?
Yeah, who cares?
And then other people wanted to be 5 times more popular.
Popular?
Yes.
But isn't that what money gets you too, though?
In high school? What does that even mean?
Well,
Are these grown adults?
It's social media dorks. You guys should know who these people are. You're
Yeah.
God.
I want to be 5 times more popular.
I guess if you're popular on social media, that could also rake you in a lot of cash.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you get... But like I said, okay, now I'm wildly popular on social media. In 20 years, I'm sitting on the high house on the hill. Just get the money right away.
Yes.
Why go through the process of, yay, now I have followers on
Hopefully this works out.
Right, exactly. Just get the money. We go to Florida and we get the money. What movie, Guapo?
Blues Brothers.
No, they don't go to Florida, and the Blues Brothers are in the state of Illinois.
Not bad.
But there's
Young Frankenstein.
There's a no. They're in Bulgaria or so. Yes, Slapshot. You go to Florida and you get the money.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning
my
Show.
God. Yeah, we're about ready to pull the plug on this nonsense. Janel Klein is here with us. We were having a conversation here a few minutes ago. Somebody fired a question up on social media. Would you rather be 5 times richer, 5 times more attractive, or 5 times smarter? We went this way with it. We went that way. Got some text messages from our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Some people went off the chart. They couldn't choose any of the 3 options. Richer, attractive, smarter. They went in different directions. This is very interesting. We have a listener who would rather be 5 times taller.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of that, too.
5 times. You little giant.
Only 5 times taller.
I was like, maybe that would be cool.
So, on
be a
average,
giant.
you'd be somewhere around like 27 feet tall.
Yeah, depending on, Like my mom's 5 feet, so she'd be, 25 feet tall?
Jesus Christ. No one's touching that record.
And I
Mom,
suppose...
do you mind cleaning the gutters? It'd be pretty easy.
That would bring you probably everything you've ever wanted. You would be world famous. You would make money touring around doing who God knows how much they'll pay a 25-foot man to...
Transportation would be difficult.
Yes. Yeah, You'd be doing the state fair tour. I don't know, but you would be... And there'd be plenty of people who would want to know you intimately, I would bet, if you're 25 feet. Imagine how many sex partners you could have on top of you at once.
I guess. I've never had sex with a 25-footer, for sure.
Oh. That is interesting.
5 times richer, 5 times more attractive, or 5 times smarter? That's the question.
Right.
A 320er has texted in and says, can you split it up like 3 times richer and 3 times more good looking? Oh, never mind. I better do 5 times smarter.
Now, a lot of people texted in saying, well, 5 times 0 equals 0. If I have no money and have no good looks and have no, what's the other, brains, no smarts, I mean, sure, I get it. But you're not a 0. Come on.
A lot of people are texting in, gentlemen, about the size of their reproductive organs. They wish they could double or make them larger by 5.
We dudes can't let that one go, can we? No. Here's a listener who says, I'm a little older. I'd like to be 5 times healthier. Jesus, what do you want to live forever?
That's a great one, though. Wait, no, just while you're living, you want to be in good health, however long that is.
Oh, I see. Okay, sure. And my friggin' wife texted me earlier with a smart-ass comment about whores. She said something along the lines of, I would have to be 5 times more attractive to even pull in whores. She's got an edge to her like that, Josh.
I've noticed.
I know you think she's a nice person.
I think she's pretty darn funny.
Did I ever tell you this story? She just, sometimes she snaps. When we first moved in together, we're both kind of looking out our front picture window, and here goes a gal just walking down the sidewalk. And what does the friggin' wife say? She says this, well, who's this whore?
I love that.
I said, it's just a lady walking down. What the hell's your problem? Oh, she texted again. Oh, yeah, this is an inside joke. But she says, okay, I guess I'll have to tell you. She says, if I was 5 times smarter, that would help me order food at the McDonald's drive-thru. I had trouble the other day at the McDonald's drive-thru.
Oh, you did? What did you do, Nick?
Well, you know, this is some kind of new fancy schmancy thing where you can order the food on your cell phone, and then when you go to the drive-thru,
you give them the code.
Yeah, see, I don't understand these things. So we're at the drive-thru, and she says, I already ordered our food. You just have to present them. And I said, well, what do I say? I don't know how to speak this language. And I said, what do I say? Hello, I have a cell phone? And she said,
buddy, so do I.
Yeah. And she, like Janelle's laughing, she laughed at how stupid that was. I said, I don't know how to play this game. I come from a generation where you say, hello, I would like a cheeseburger and French fries.
Hello, I ordered online.
They usually ask you right away.
Yeah, my code is 7236.
I don't speak that language.
At least the one by us, they always ask, did you order on the mobile app?
Yeah.
But now I'm an idiot.
I could see that being hard for you. I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh, I totally can too.
I had asked my wife what she would choose, 5 times smarter, 5 times richer, or 5 times better looking, and she said probably smarter, and I think that's probably a good call because she spelled probably and smarter incorrectly.
Oh.
It was a 2-word text.
Oh, my God.
And she gong showed it.
So my friggin' wife likes to come off about whores this and whores that. Ashley has her slogan, a picture a day keeps the hose away. She always sends naked pictures to her boyfriend and other guys.
Yep.
To keep the hose away. Have you ever heard this slogan? A listener texted this in. They said, never let your man leave the house horny or hungry because there's always a whore with a sandwich.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, there is.
You never know. Coming around the corner, here comes a whore.
What's that in her hand?
She has a sandwich.
My God, I'm horny and hungry.
Oh, God.
I remember the first time I heard a woman say, I don't care where he gets his appetite as long as he's only eating at home.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that one.
And real briefly, we mentioned an IQ test. Okay. When in this scenario, when they mention you'll be 5 times smarter, what they mean by that specifically, I guess, is your IQ will be 5 times what it is now. We need to find an IQ test, and we need to all take it. I think that would be fun. Do you think we could find something like that on the internet?
Oh, yeah,
there's plenty
absolutely.
online ones. I don't know how legit any of them are.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a legit one. I'll do some research and find a good one.
I bet I would score very, very high, but I'm a narcissist.
We did learn that.
We learned.
Did you? I don't know if you were listening that day, Janelle, but yeah, we all took a narcissist test.
Yeah.
And Nick was off the charts.
No.
Yeah, I guess I'm an insufferable narcissist.
No, I disagree.
Well, thanks, Janelle.
How did everyone else turn out?
They're fairly normal.
They're in the clear?
They're fairly normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm the narcissist.
No, that's not true.
Well, at least one of you is on my side.
Silence from the other 4 in the room.
Hey, I already said what I said.
I know, Cubby. And I love you to death for it. Well, we got to get out of here, Janelle.
Okay.
But we always love it when you swing on by.
Look at that. Look out the window, Janelle. What do you see? There's a whore with a sandwich.
Oh, my God.
They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere.
Absolutely harmless, innocent lady walking down the street, and she says, well, who is this whore?
I love her for that.
What have I gotten myself into? Why are you snapping at...
That's really funny.
That is pretty good.
Is this one of your whores?
Yeah. All right, Janelle.
Thanks, Janelle.
Thanks, you guys.
You're a good pal.
Right.
Quality Jesus text in to wish all the ambulance drivers a happy EMS week, and we echo those sentiments. Thank you for listening, and stay safe today. Sounds like the weather could get a little scary, so careful, and have a great Tuesday.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.